All right, Big Game Eve is here. Hello, everybody. How we feeling? You wake up with the big game juices in the old stomach because it is a Football Friday Fiesta ahead of why we do this, why you do this, why we put ourselves through this. It's a big game in Lincoln, Nebraska, and Michigan, a helmet game. Prime slot, CBS, Nestler, Danielson. All these kind of celebrities are in town. We even had a round table to get you ready for what's going to happen tomorrow. But good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
32 hours away from kickoff.
And then in 8 hours, we'll be 24 hours away.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. And then,
Bang.
in the middle of the night at 2:30, we will be, 12 hours away.
Yeah. I won't be sleeping. This is probably a no sleep type game.
I don't advise that. I think you got to rest up. I think you gotta get your sleep.
I would not be allowed
professional
to
sleeper. You can sleep. It's no problem.
I'll tell you right now. If I were on the Nebraska football team, I would not be allowed to play because of I'm not reaching my proper sleep score.
Yeah, well,
I'm not getting the proper amount of sleep.
I think Vegas and an entire fan base is very happy that you will not be suiting up for Nebraska.
Yeah, I'm unathletic and I'm 23 years old. I'm out of eligibility. I'm now down to 178 pounds. When they talk about the whole, could an average person get like 4 yards or a couple yards on a carry? If I don't die, I think I could, you know?
But first and foremost, yesterday, thanks to everybody that stopped out at Oscars. They're a great partner of 1620 The Zone and our roundtable. Hope you enjoyed it. If not, if you missed the whole hour breakdown about a multitude of things. I think the Connor Happer show tweeted out the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, everybody, that stopped by. Again, Oscar's a fantastic spot for that. It's a big game because we had a roundtable before a big game, not before the first game of the year. Well, we actually did, but it wasn't available for all of you unless you stopped by the house in Overland Park, Kansas. So we are here. The juices are flowing. It is a Football Friday Fiesta, and something just dawned on me.
What just dawned on you?
So last night, and I saw the clip this morning of what happened between Nebraska and Penn State soccer.
Oh, yes.
So Penn State soccer is number 8 in the country. John Walker, who has, I think John Walker was the head coach when Devaney won a national championship of the women's soccer program. He has been here forever. There have been times where I thought that John Walker would be like, get it. Because they went through a little bit of a rough patch.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked more hockey than actually soccer with John Walker. And he's very quiet, kind of keeps to himself, doesn't like the media spotlight, doesn't talk to the media a lot. Not that he dislikes us.
Sure.
Just that's not his thing.
Yeah.
But like the last couple of years, they've been very competitive
Mm-hmm.
and they've been successful in the Big Ten. And last night, they kept something alive that might bode well for tomorrow in Lincoln.
What do they keep? Well, so I didn't see the clip in full honesty, but I did see that they tied at very late in the game. What did they keep alive?
So shout out Papillion La Vista Soccer as the Monarchs continue to produce down in Lincoln. Lauren Englund, who the last name, I think there's all kinds of Englands that have gone to Papillion La Vista. She got the equalizer to level it in the last minute. And so they ended with a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And Nebraska women's soccer is 5-0-4.
Okay.
How many losses does volleyball have?
0.
How many losses does football have?
0.
How about that? How about that start? There's been so much angst and just, Nebraska athletics sucks for the longest time around here.
Yeah.
Except for like volleyball, wrestling, track and field. But they're unbeaten. It's an unbeaten fall so far in Lincoln. Volleyball play tonight?
I don't know.
Football, do not let the Nebraska fall down.
Now
but shout out to Nebraska women's soccer. Good for John Walker. He is a great dude. But they're 5-0-4. That's huge. That's huge. Penn State number 8, and they tied it in the last minute.
They play tomorrow against Arizona.
Oh,
at the Bob Devaney.
That's right. Right after football.
Yes. So they will be able. They will have an opportunity to keep that alive. Football will be able to keep that alive. Shout out Eleanor Dale, who was an absolute electric factory a couple of years ago for Nebraska soccer, and Nicola Hauk, who was a defensive back, who was an awesome capstone partner in Co-JMC. Defender?
Cornerback.
or not a, what do they call it in soccer?
Midfielder?
No, what do they call it?
Halfback? Right back?
You got the left back, the right back, and then the two backs in the middle. Center back. That's what it is.
We eventually get there.
I played FIFA. Vincent Company, Virgil van Dijk.
Exactly.
Gerardo Piqué. He married Shakira.
There will be winners and losers throughout the weekend. By the way, if you have not, because you'll get a little chuckle, and hopefully you did not do anything to their ticker, go ahead and check on your friends in any survivor pool that had the Buffalo Bills, who last night had to sweat it out with the amusement of Al Michaels, loving their team, hating the Eagles. I think Al Michaels should just have his own standalone stand-up on Thursday night. But Buffalo was able to persevere last night. They scored over 30 points. They didn't play a clean game, but they beat the Miami Dolphins, who are 0-3. Ooh, moral victory. No one cares.
Yeah.
You're 0-3. So check on those Bills fans and see how they were doing when it was tied. And all of a sudden, that was you. You went with the Bills?
I went with the Bills.
Yeah.
I went with the sweat.
Yeah.
I got it. Now, full transparency, we have to submit our picks at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
I didn't submit mine until 12:22. And so I was worried that Pat, our survivor pool guy,
just kick you out of the league.
Well, him and I have a good rapport. Okay. So I texted him. I go, Pat, so sorry. I'll take the Bills. I just kind of panicked. I was fine a little bit. I wasn't sweating, but I was worried. I'm like, what if Allen throws a pick here? Or like, what if they fumble? Or what if there's just this absolute just calamity that occurs during this game, and then I'm out in week 3 because I didn't take the proper time to think about who I was going to pick for a survivor pool, which, by the way, I then looked through the next 7 weeks, and I was like, I completely screwed myself over.
Their schedule from here on out, well, not from here on out, but until Kansas City goes there on the 2nd, it is extremely manageable. If they take care of business, and they are who the Bills we think they are, they should be 7-0 when Kansas City goes to Buffalo on the 2nd of November. But that game, on Thursday nights, I always have one game on the game that is on the TV in front of me and on the field in front of me, and then on my phone. Did anybody throw the ball past the line of scrimmage last night?
No.
Everything seemed to be at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage from Tua and Josh Allen.
It was a lot of like hooks and unders and slants. Like, as somebody who had a Khalil Shakir over 4.5 receptions, I was getting very mad because it was actually, Gary, it was funny. It was kind of a cool viewing experience because how quickly the ball went out. Mm-hmm. You saw the entire coverage of like the play. Like, you didn't have to guess or anything like that. There wasn't any, I don't know if the Bills can really go all that deep, if we're being honest. Like, I don't know if they could take the top off the defense with the guys that they have.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Josh Allen's legs last night were the most important thing. I know he counted for 3 touchdowns.
Well, no, two passing. Yeah, he had 23.5 or 24 rushing yards. But James Cook was absolutely incredible, and he's running like the best running back in the league.
Money well spent to take care of that in training camp. But the Bills win last night. Not a clean game, but they scored over 30. Can they beat the Ravens? Yes. That'll be the thing. Can they beat the Ravens without the Ravens beating themselves? But they are a wagon in their own division. What is that? 16 of 18 that they've won against Miami. And then Tua's 1-9 against the Bills in his career.
Allen's got 45 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in his career against the Miami Dolphins. Hey, can they beat Baltimore? Can they beat Kansas City? I mean, I know you're 0-2.
We'll see.
I know you have to iron some things out.
We'll see. People don't want to hear about the Chiefs, so I'm not talking about the Chiefs. They are my survivor pick this week.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about the Chiefs. You know what? We're not the story. Everybody stop talking about the Chiefs. Do not talk about the Chiefs, okay?
This is you.
But I'm telling you,
no,
if they beat the Ravens and they are 2-2, which means they started 0-2 and they won their next 2. They beat the Ravens next weekend at Arrowhead. They're going to be a discussion. But everybody stop talking about the Chiefs. Nobody wants to hear about the Chiefs.
Are you a little tired? Are you tired of people talking about your team because your team has been the center of attention for the last 6 years?
No, not that. I'm very blessed that people have an interest in the Kansas City Chiefs, but their interest is not the same as mine right now.
Okay.
Mine is trying to figure out whatever happened to Isaiah Pacheco. I mean,
sure.
Did we not? Were we blind? I mean, all right. Did we go to the Helen Keller school during the summer? Okay, because now we can't see holes.
Is the all-22 that bad?
We run into the back of offensive linemen. I mean,
but he runs angry. Gary, he runs angry. He runs like he's going to bite somebody.
Yeah.
Isn't he cool?
Yeah. Fan here running angry to get rid of him.
Well, that was fiery.
But nobody needs to hear about the Chiefs. Nobody wants to hear about the Chiefs. Okay,
I kind of want to hear about the Chiefs.
Nobody wants to hear about the Chiefs.
I think it's incredibly
Everything's about the
interesting.
Chiefs, but the Chiefs are going to help you all out in the NFL.
How are they going to help us?
The Mix Sportsbook. Let's open it early here.
Yeah, go ahead.
619 in.
Sorry.
Is there a total on how many false starts will be called on the Eagles on the Tush push this weekend? After it came out yesterday that the NFL sent film to all 32 teams and officials about looking for the false start. They play the Rams in what is the top game,
Sure,
or one of the top games this weekend in the NFL. So what will be the amount of false starts? Like, there has to be one just called for the heck of it. Like, you can't make a big thing about false starts on the Tush push and then not call anything.
Okay, so this is a great point. I was thinking about this yesterday. I think when they run the Tush push, regardless of how it looks, they're immediately going to throw a flag and blow a whistle. And they're going to be like, "Hey, Juergens's head is over the ball." And they're going to go on the microphone and be like, "Number 51's head was over the ball before it was snapped in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down." They're just going to do it, and I think that will be penance. That will be like the reconciliation. That'll be the, "Hey, sorry, we missed it. Here you go."
You think the Eagles will just be like, "Yeah, okay, we get it. We're playing the game. We're playing the game." Actually, something with the Tush push that would help the Eagles is if somebody else successfully ran it in the league.
Yes, it would.
I mean, if they had a couple other teams that also were successful that could go to bat for them, because I think we're getting close to the end.
Oh, it's over. Oh, I think it's done. I don't think there's any way that this upholds next season. I think they're going to completely get rid of it. And I think the reason is it's no longer about player safety. Did you hear Blandino come in and he was like, he was like, "This is such a hard, a play to officiate." That's now going to be the angle.
Yeah, and I also want to. I said don't talk about the Chiefs. I'm going to talk about the Chiefs.
Go ahead.
People said, "You know what? It helped the Chiefs." No, it didn't. It's after they played them. Okay, so it's after they played them.
If anything, it didn't help.
The Chiefs are actually helping everybody else.
Well, it didn't help out the Chiefs.
That's what a lot of people say. People say Chiefs are they're the most gracious team in the NFL. Love them.
Can I get you mad early?
No, I'm not going to be mad. Why should I be mad? We're ahead of a big game.
It was actually
I got big game, good feel.
I think it was actually bad for the Chiefs because now people are going to be like, "Look, all it took was playing the big bad Chiefs, and all it took was doing wrong against the Chiefs for the NFL to finally say, 'Oh, we're going to officiate this correctly.'" Like, and then people are going to try and fall into the narrative of like the NFL is scripted and all they do is protect the Chiefs.
We're helping out the league, and the league needs the Chiefs to help out themselves because we need Taylor back watching her soon-to-be husband play.
No prop on FanDuel for false starts, but I guarantee you that, like, the one betting site where you can bet on like
everything,
like political speeches and how often politicians say some certain phrase during whatever. They probably
is that the poly market.
Yes, you can. I saw this video on YouTube. This guy bet that this politician or whatever would say "uncertain" 5 or more times during his speech, and he didn't. He lost. He said it 4 times, and it was a sweat.
This will be good for you and for others, but primarily for you. There is the online sports betting in Nebraska. There could be a constitutional amendment on next year's Nebraska ballot to legalize it, which means probably 2038.
Yeah, just like they legalized weed.
Yeah, then
how's that working out?
2038 we'll be able to do this.
Not good for me. I told you about my adventures
Many
in
of us
Denver
will be dead.
and how bad it was that I could just press 3 buttons and put $20 more.
I have faith in you that you will find the Lord Jesus Christ and also some more responsible gambling.
Go Irish.
I first off found that, and I do responsibly gamble.
That could be an interesting game. Then Purdue this weekend. All right, let me give you the lineup of the Football Friday Fiesta.
That was a good one. You snuck that one in there.
He's not wrong.
It won't be a good one. They're going to kick their butt.
Hey, Barry Odom might have give Purdue a pulse. They're not the worst team. Not the worst team in the Big Ten.
No, we're not playing that game.
I didn't say it was your team.
Well, you gave me that look.
I didn't say it was your team.
We're at the point.
You can't be considered not the best team in the league if you've already fired your coach 3 games in.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
You gave me that look, though.
Like a little scoop on that job?
Oh, yes, I would love a scoop.
The athletic director, who I think they have an AD problem at UCLA, got on a conference call with a lot of former players this week and picking their brain on what is needed to be successful at UCLA. You know who one of those former players on that call was, or former connection to UCLA was?
Josh Rosen.
Tony White.
What? Nice. That's very interesting, actually.
So Tony White, he got to probably the 6-yard line when the job was open previously. And then he called timeout, and he never came back onto the field. He went into the locker room and never came back. So, yeah, he was on the call to talk about maybe what UCLA needs, which is interesting because he was interested in that job, and maybe it's another vetting for Tony White. Stay away from that job. Stay away from that job. Heck, you win now, and you immediately become a candidate, like the Rice coach, Scott Abel.
Oh, yeah. Hell of a game.
Who's they're off to a 3-1 start with the Owls. First time since 2001 that they are 3-1. Can you name their one loss that year?
Nebraska.
Yeah. There might be some mojo going here.
That was the day of the ultimate tunnel walk.
Nebraska in the fall. Correct. Incredible day. Nebraska Athletics off to an unbeaten start in the fall. Rice, 3-1. First time since 2001. Who beat them? Nebraska. Everything is coming together. See what we do here? I don't need no damn crystal ball. I got all this.
It's not about remembering that Nebraska beat Rice in 2001.
They kicked their ass.
No. I'm no longer.
Yeah, they did. They hammered.
Okay. I'm no longer surprised.
I think Scott Shanley had a good game
They
too.
kicked a lot of ass. I remember him.
With the hosting with you two. I'm not surprised that you guys just automatically remember that Nebraska kicked the crap out of Rice in 2001. What does always get me though is the fact that you remember the small detail, like the tunnel walk was absolutely.
Well, Jimmy's right. You'll never forget that. The tunnel walk that day, because it was the first game after 9/11, and it was the first game in this
BTN
country.
deal they did. It's a must watch.
That was my fault.
All right, coming up on the show, Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews stops by.
It wasn't on TV. That's a trivia question.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd think it would be on a Thursday night.
I mean, wasn't it the very first game, right, that was played in college
That
football
wouldn't
after
happen
it? Why would that not be nationally televised?
Because that was in 2001 when not every game was on TV, and there was kind of the sacred 1 or 2 games a year that would be on radio or pay-per-view. And you'd have to go to Time Warner Cable in Lincoln and get your box and stand in line.
By the way, that's still, I learned that with you two, that you guys used to have to pay for regular season games.
And they paid too.
That's
good
crazy.
broadcast.
Wait till you have to pay for a Super Bowl, though.
I'll tell you about 1 o'clock, no TV.
Yeah. You got to look at an old pocket schedule.
Yeah.
When it'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff.
Is this is the moment where you guys look at me and you're like, you don't know how good you have it.
It's true, though.
That's true.
But the Blackhawks were not on television for most of my childhood. So I did know what it was like to have to listen to a radio to hear your favorite team play, and you couldn't see them visually.
Says the kid who works in radio now.
Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews coming up at 7:30. Lee Sterling stops by at 7:50. Mike Schaefer at 9. Not only a huge game on the field, but a huge game off the field for Trey Taylor's recruiting class. And Matt Verzal is in at 9:20. That's the lineup brought to you by the Roof Rees at John Higgins Weather Guard. I got and also throughout the show, we will discuss 3 reasons why and 3 reasons won't Nebraska win tomorrow, and the top 5 players that are involved in the game. All of that as we roll till 10. I think we'll have a pick or 2 and an update on our contest.
Yes, I do have the full update. I've been keeping track.
We both went 2-1.
We both went 2-1 last week.
Okay.
You're still up 8 points.
All right. I mean, your punishment will be light. But I don't want to touch the money. We could lose. We could tie. It could be a push.
Are we going all the way up to national championship or the end of the regular season?
We can go as long as you want until you bow out.
You're that confident?
No, I'm not saying that's confident, but I'm like setting you up. Like if you want to bow out.
I'm not. No,
I'm pretty heavy on.
You want to take the punishment right now?
One win is 5 points. So all I need is to just get one more win than you for 2 weeks, which I've done before.
But I think I'm starting to crank it up. I almost had a 3 for 3 week last week, unless Northwestern screwed me.
Well, I had 2-1.
Yeah. All right. If you'd like to jump into the show, your thoughts, because you've been holding on to them all week about Nebraska and Michigan. 402-951-1620. That is the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline to get in and chat with all of us. Or you can drop us an email, as many of you have. Gary or Matt at 1620thezone.com. That's the Equitable Bank inbox where they take banking personally. And they answer the call on the first ring. They're right there. Doug's all over. I was at Elkhorn Stadium last night. Equitable Bank is all over the place out there. And also, you can join us on Twitter or X or whatever it is called today or tomorrow at Gary Sharp 1620 at Matt McMedia. This is a good way to start. And if he lets us down, then you know what's going to happen tomorrow. So not to put any pressure on our first caller of the morning on a Football Friday Fiesta ahead of Nebraska and Michigan, Nebraska ball Mike. Hello.
Jerry, we got to have some speaks about something you said yesterday.
Give it to me.
Whoa.
You were worried about kids yesterday when Jimi Hendrix had a really bad day at a London hotel room 55 years ago.
Can you say that again one more time, Mike?
Hold on. I'm
You were
worried.
worried about kids yesterday when
Kiss.
Jimi Hendrix had a really bad day at a London hotel room.
Okay.
On that day.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. That was the day he passed away. Yes, in
I'm going to
1970.
give you a pass.
So he had a bad day.
Like, you mentioned makeup on that day. Nobody did,
Whoa.
dude.
Hey. Yo. All right. I could say, hey, Joe, but in this case, I'm going to say, hey, Mike. Hey, hey, get out of the purple haze for a moment. Okay. We talk about Jimi Hendrix all the time. So we don't, necessarily bring up the day that he, the 27 years old, he passed away.
Listen to Jimmy.
And Kiss
I
was
wrote a paper on him in college, so I know.
Okay.
I kind of know all that.
All right. Did you have a foxy lady in college as well?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about any of that.
All right.
I had to wait 10 years for that, but that's another story.
Her name was Dolly Dagger.
All right. Hey, I know what her name was. The Wind Cries Mary. All right. I know what we gave you an assignment here on the Friday before Michigan, so I can hear my train a coming. Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Not Johnny Cash.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lawrence Phillips.
All right. Voodoo Child, my Nebraska ball Mike. Are you ready?
I'm gonna try. Okay.
Do or do
I
not.
was poking around YouTube about a week ago.
Okay.
And
You said they were.
I noticed that Mr. Sue was on with Compton and Llewellyn, and that gave me a flashback.
Okay.
Can you remember the last time Nebraska felt really good in the middle of a regular season, and what game that was? I'll give you a hint.
Hey, give me the power of the soul.
Saturday.
Okay.
And it wasn't Lincoln.
Okay.
Columbia.
Missouri?
Didn't Mr. Sue break somebody's ankle?
Yeah, F those guys.
That was in the rain. Yeah.
Hey.
Rainy day, dream away, Mizzou.
Take that, Blaine Gabbert.
Do we have anybody on this defense that wants to make Bryce Underwood famous?
Oh, is that a question?
It's not going to come down to Mr. Rayola. We know what he can do. And Mr. Mondale, you're going to have to do everything you can do, because I'll tell you something. We don't have one guy you got to stop. We got three. Good luck with that. Even if we don't run the football, how are you going to stop three wide receivers that are going to go pro? You better throw the kitchen sink at him. As far as the defense is concerned, my question again, who's going to make Bryce Underwood famous? The Undertaker used to say it.
What?
Back in the day when he was in his prime.
What?
He said, I'll make you famous.
What?
And about nobody beat him for about a year after that.
What?
All we want is one game.
What?
And if we get it,
what?
the state will feel so good. And it has been 15 years plus since we have felt that good in the middle of the year where we knew we could play with anybody on any field.
What?
Are we ready?
What?
We hope so. Right now, that's what we can do. But it comes down to what this defense can do, and really, we don't know that answer yet. But we know what it would look like. The kid ain't famous yet. Kid's famous for his bank account. That's it.
Hey.
Let's do something about that.
Give me a hell yeah.
Nicely done. Like a Rolling Stone, you're as bold as love, and people will remember what you just said.
I'm trying.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, now, just take a deep breath here. I don't want you to just, be done for the day. That was nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you on Monday, or we'll check in on you on Monday, all right?
You may not want to do that.
Oh, you got a big weekend or
depending
what?
on the outcome of this game.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah. My little voodoo child. That is Nebraska ball, Jimi Hendrix, Mike.
I like it when you two just riff. You know,
Huh?
it's just Nebraska ball, Mike and Gary. I just sit back. You know, I enjoy it.
I wanted
Podcast.
a little bit more about his sweet angel in college.
That is a good running bit on this show. Just the immediacy of when we bring up an artist, of you going back and trying to fit all the titles into a
Hey.
sentence.
If 6 was 9, Nebraska would blow out Michigan.
If my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Indeed.
You got any pictures?
No.
Okay.
You don't get pictures of my grandmother, my abuelita. Bang!
All right. When we return, there is, it's a big game because there's a national discussion that it is an either or. So that means it's officially a big, big game in Lincoln. We'll discuss on a Football Friday Fiesta. Jimmy, Matt, and Gary on 1620 The Zone. All right, Gary, Matt, and Jimmy, not Hendricks, on a Football Friday Fiesta. Next hour, Brett Ciancia and Lee Sterling stop by ahead of the big game in Lincoln, Nebraska and Michigan tomorrow, 2:30. The pregame, John and Michael will be there beginning at noon under, not the Watchtower, but the Viaduct, the Blur Tailgate Party. And then afterwards, you and Josh will be on Big Red Overreaction.
BROR, baby. Trying to go 5-0.
Well, good luck.
Thank
Good luck. If it does not happen, you'll be one of many that people will pin it on. So hope you have broad shoulders, my friend. Okay, so this, of course, has been the discussion all week long. Nebraska, since they joined the Big Ten, you know what they are against Michigan? Well, let me ask you this first. You know what they are against Ohio State?
1-6.
1-8.
Okay.
Michigan, they're 2-5.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody can rattle off the numbers. Like it'd be nice. You know what? It'd be nice that Nebraska takes care of business this season and starts to stack some things so that when we reference the greatest team in college football of all time, the 1995 team, nobody says, quit talking about the past. We talk about the past because they were really good, and we should talk more about them. We don't compare, but we should talk more so that the current team is really good, and you're just talking about the 90s team because you like good football, okay? That's just hey.
That is a great way.
It is just a simple request that I have. But you know it's a big game because all of the national people, the talking heads, they have all the graphics. They have all the podcasts. People are making picks, and Nebraska, Michigan is involved. It's near the top. It's right there with Utah and Texas Tech. It's right there with number 1 Miami and Florida. I like Miami.
You're on that. You're all over that. Number 2 Miami.
They're a 7.5-point favorite this weekend. If they beat Florida, which
they should.
I mean, get ready, learn some Carson Beck. But this is how I can tell that Nebraska, Michigan falls into the category of the big game because this is one of my favorite topics to observe. And when we do it periodically on the show, so I'm not panning it. It's a good starter for discussion.
Okay.
Is the whole who has the most to gain or lose when it's a big game. And you put everything into one game that is not like a playoff game or a championship game. It just happens to be the 4th game of the season for both teams. If you are doing this, and you might be doing this at work today, you might be doing it at your kitchen table because you heard on Gary and Matt, they were talking about most to lose or gain. If your answer is not Matthew Kenneth Rhule, then you are doing this game wrong.
That's his middle name?
Yes.
Did you have to look that up, or did you know that already?
No, and don't ask me how I know it.
All right, fair enough.
No,
I would have thought it was Tiberius.
No stolen identity or anything like that. I'm weird. Okay, I'm weird. I admit it. I'm weird. I don't know why I know that, but I know that it's Matthew Kenneth Rhule.
You had to pull off Watergate to find the birth certificate.
Information online is pretty easy. You want to know what you want to know his 2 houses are? Just kidding.
Jeez, Gary.
Yeah, but he kind of doxed himself because he was in a helicopter this summer and flew over his property that is in a place where they won 50-15 last night on the Thursday Night Lights game. I'm a big fan of Reed Manstead,
the
head coach at Waverly.
Oh, yes.
Broxton Tepley is a quarterback in 27, transfer from Lincoln Southwest, started as a freshman at Lincoln Southwest. Now he's transferred to Waverly.
The Vikings are a wagon.
Getting attention from Kansas State and Iowa State. Yeah, Waverly's, B is deep. B is really good at the top, and Waverly is one of those good teams. So back to Matt Rhule, the football coach, not Matt Rhule, the homestead owner outside of Lincoln.
Matthew Kenneth.
Yes. If your answer is not Rhule, again, we're not playing this game the right way because let me just give you some more nuggets that you have to overcome.
Love your nuggets.
Everybody knows about the losses in the road to ranked teams.
Yes.
Okay, you can recite them. You know what? You could probably even go all 27. And they're like, that game. Ooh, that. Oh no.
Do you have a least favorite one, by the way, out of all those losses?
No.
Okay.
All losses feel the same to me.
Oh, that's okay.
That was good coach speak, wasn't it?
That was incredible coach speak.
So at Baylor, Matt Rhule, Waco, he was an underdog 13 times.
Okay.
They covered outright 5 of those times, 10 of 13.
All right. Okay.
Since he has been at the University of Nebraska, he is 2-9 straight up as an underdog. and has only covered in 4 of those 11 games. Now, I only give you information, and you can decipher and do whatever you want with it.
Sure.
But there is the whole buildup to this tomorrow. And one game, in my opinion, doesn't make the season.
Mhm.
But if one game is a win and you're 4-0, it doesn't say that Nebraska's back. I hope that does not come out of the mouth of Brad Nessler or Gary Danielson or Matt McMaster.
Whoa.
It does show you.
That'd be most likely.
It
on
does
Matt
show you,
McMaster
though.
than Brad
No,
Nessler.
because I think there are other
I'm
points.
Not a knock at you.
I think there are other points along the way where you can go back. But this is what it does. A win tomorrow for me, and again, I'm on a lonely island, okay? Maybe not. It shows you the process is working.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the process is working, and everything that you felt or you've observed or has been said, you can see it happening. But here's the other thing, why the most to gain and the most to lose. It's not like Rhule is not going to show up for work on Sunday if they lose.
That would be a story.
If they win, hey, we're about to unleash some very obnoxious people, and there's people keeping receipts. So you take advantage of the moment, and finally you come through, and people go, okay, on to the next one. But have we thought about this? How around here, I think there's a pretty confident vibe.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, we're like a 24-20 confident vibe. I got
Yeah.
more people, though, that are like, hey, this is a double score win. Okay, like I saw 30-10. I mean,
no.
have we addressed this? How people from the outside might be observing Nebraska, and maybe how Nebraska might use this as a little bit of motivation? Do you think there's a lot of people that are not buying Nebraska at 3-0?
Absolutely.
Okay, because they're an underdog at home.
Yeah.
Now, albeit 2.5 points.
That's what makes tomorrow so great.
Yes. And they're playing a team that's 2-1, does not have their head coach.
No.
But yet they're a favorite. They are ranked. They're also bringing in a quarterback that's only playing his 4th game. I look at the poll earlier in the week, the coach's poll. Nebraska only got 24 votes.
That'll change if they win.
Okay. So it's not like people are like, ooh, yeah. There's just the weird middle ground of this game for Nebraska, in my opinion. But you want to play this game, if your immediate answer is not the head coach, then I think you're playing the game wrong.
Well, so he's done Matt Rhule, and I don't mean this in a negative way, because like this term I'm about to say
sounds like the tone is
No,
coming.
no,
Prepare
no.
yourself.
This term
Are
I'm
your
about
DMs
to
open?
Yes, they're always open. This
He likes pictures.
No, I don't. This what I'm about to say. This term is
Shout out Miss Sprinkle.
not the pictures that Jimmy is referring to. This
I'm
is
not
actually a
referring
good
to any
point. Let me
pictures.
get this point out. Okay. He's done a lot of talking. Okay. And when we say this person has done a lot of talking, it's taken in a negative connotation as if like they're talking and they're very confident and they're obnoxious.
They're blowhards.
Matt Rhule hasn't been obnoxious and he hasn't been talking. In fact,
Not at all.
he's done a lot of respectful talking toward the people that they've played and the people they are going to play. But what I mean by this is he's talking to Portnoy. He's got his own podcast. He's on McAfee. He's, very much doing the car wash as much as he can. He's going on every podcast. And I think a guy like McAfee looks at Coach Rhule and is like, thank you for coming on. This is really cool. This is a great conversation. And they're all saying, oh, you're going to turn it around and you're doing good work, coach. But if he doesn't do that, these guys are going to look at Matt Rhule and be like, okay, wait, do we even really believe you? Like, do we believe you now? Like, is this like, are you just a really good talker? Are you just fun to have on
He's
TV?
betting on
or
himself.
Are you an actual like?
Now I think there's two
football
I think there's two
coach.
Matt Rhules when it comes to competition and playing the game.
I agree with that.
The Matt Rhule that is inside the walls is different from the Matt Rhule that is outside the walls because he gets the game, but he also gets the competition and what it takes to motivate men to play.
And I agree with that.
And they are drastically different.
They so different.
There's a reason why he's won a lot.
Very,
before.
very, and I think a guy who does a great job that we have on as a guest conveying that is Steve Sipple when he comes on here and talks about how, he has a very high standard and he's not the easiest person. We said that before. He's not the easiest person.
I don't think
to work for.
Rhule has called Sipple though and said, "Get your arse into my office. I'm going to beat you."
No, he hasn't.
Well, we got to be careful here, coach.
He's been gone for a decade.
But what I will say is I am concerned with the fact if like Matt Rhule doesn't end up getting these big wins and doesn't actually cash in this great culture and the standard and the things that he's communicated, that people nationally who like having him on, that like talking to him, are going to look at him and be like, "Are you for real?"
That's certainly, that goes with
part
the
of the
territory.
territory.
That goes with the territory.
And
you know it when you get into it.
But he's put himself. He more than most coaches
Yeah.
has put himself in that
He gets
area.
it. Guy
which
got
is-
fired at Carolina. He
but-
understands this.
And this is why this adds to the whole. He's got the most riding on this game, and why he has the most stakes on his game, and he's put that on his plate. And it's because he's confident that they're going to be able to do it.
He wouldn't do that if he wasn't confident. That's
Yes.
a great observation. Because he's been everywhere. Oh, he was on my buddy Zach Gelb the other day, and I'm like, what? I mean, this ain't bye week.
Yeah.
Okay, this
I
is
know.
game week.
Well, he was on McAfee yesterday with 2 days before the
And
Michigan
he mentioned on his podcast, he brought this up with Portnoy, is I get it. The first time we lose, people are like, why aren't you coaching football?
Yeah.
Why are we doing a podcast?
Yeah.
All right, let's finish the hour on
point.
the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline with Gary. Hello.
Hello, Gear. How are you, sir?
How you doing, G?
Not too bad. Got a trivia question for you this morning. Have you read Callahan's book yet?
Sean Callahan?
Yes. Have you read his book?
You know what? It is sitting in a prime spot on my coffee table in my dining room.
So no.
I've read the first chapter.
All right. Chapter 12
Oh, geez.
has
I love being right.
has a history of the black shirts.
Okay.
In 1964, the black shirts got
Maybe
started
7.
with Bob Devaney
Yeah.
and Coach Osborne. They sent a running backs coach out to buy those black shirts at a local Lincoln sporting goods store. What was the name of that sporting goods store in Lincoln that they went and got the black shirts for the defensive practices?
Wait a minute. Why don't you ask me who the coach was? That's easier.
Nope. Because you're going to get a kick out of this. You're going to get a kick
Okay.
out of this answer.
So I'm going to go backwards here. By the way, it's Mike Corgan. Gary, I like this trivia question, but it's way too early in the morning to go.
Come on, man.
It's not Dix and it's not Shields.
No. Is it?
It's not Lawlers.
Is it Play It Against Sports?
Nope.
Okay. It was a long time Lincoln sporting goods store that closed doors like in the 80s. Is that
Mums?
correct?
That I don't know. The book did not tell me that.
Well, then not a good book. I think you're going to tell me the answer, and I'm going to do some self-mutilation here because I think I know what this is.
Go ahead.
No, I can't think of the name, but I can kind of maybe see pictures of it. So give it to me.
It's something that you and I have in common.
Oh, okay.
Name?
You have stumped me. Congratulations.
It was called, and I quote the book, Gary's Sporting Goods Store.
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
How about that?
Go Black Shirts.
Hell yeah.
What
There you
happened?
go.
Hey, Gary, what happened to our sporting goods store?
Well, according to a best friend of mine in Lincoln that's been a police officer for 35 years
This
and
ain't going well.
retired, apparently it went kaboom back, I don't know when, but yeah. And he can't even remember where it was located.
Okay.
But when I read the chapter yesterday, I thought you'd get a kick out of the
Okay.
fact that there was the sporting goods named after your and I's first name.
Yeah. Sean's got some good information in there, some good
Yes, he
stories. That's
Yeah.
Congratulations to author Sean Callahan.
Yeah.
All right, Gary, what happens tomorrow? Real
Thanks,
quick. Real quick. What happens
Bye-bye.
tomorrow? No.
I thought he was going to say Rozier, chapter 12, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Be great if that
And he
book-
said
And
to
he
the
s-
coach, "Give me
It
the
is, I
ball."
will.
and he said, I shall run.
So the Sean's publishing company was so kind to send books out to us, and I
You.
read the first chapter, and I've not had time to go back because I'm not if
You're not a reader?
I mean maybe I'll ask him this tomorrow. Maybe we have the book is on tape,
There you
and
go.
so I can just when I get
Whoa.
done with the show, I can have Sean talking to me, and he's reading his own book.
Or
What
he
if
could
they
get his
have
own
you read the
narrator.
book?
Huh?
Yeah, what if they have you read the
Oh.
book?
I got a policy. I only read books for blind people.
There are some blind people that would listen to this.
Oh, I do.
You
I've
know
done
they
that.
have books for
I-
blind people, right?
I know, but there's
Shout
something
out Braille.
special about
Thank you, Jimmy.
something about reading. I used to do this when I lived in Lincoln.
Oh, this isn't a
Yeah.
joke. You would
No,
go.
no, I would do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
And
incredible.
I mean, I know things have changed probably a little bit of technology, but I really, really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
your services are no longer needed.
So I would read the sports section. So that's how it kind of got me started. So I'd read the sports
Oh.
section and then,
Can you do you have any stories of like you reading the box score and then
no,
just
no,
flipping out?
you couldn't put any Garyism on it.
No,
You had to be like serious.
You had to read.
You had to be
Like all of
dialed
a sudden
in.
you couldn't be sarcastic and start making jokes
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
because
really?
you think that was actually in the paper.
Can you can you be like Cubs lost? Can they freak out? You're like, nah, kidding. They won. Maddox went 8.
It's February.
Yeah.
They're not even playing.
All right, coming up the next hour, we're loaded here. We got Brett Ciancia,
It's
Pick
so
Six
much.
previews, and we got Lee Sterling. Let's see here. Let's see here about Mr. Sterling and what he thinks of the game tomorrow.
I need to ask Mr. Sterling what the 50-unit play was last week.
Yeah. His game of the week, by the way, is if you're looking for something to do tonight, Iowa and Rutgers play on a Friday night in New Jersey.
Is that on Peacock?
That's Fox. That's Fox's Friday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Hell yes.
Learn your Friday.
I just thought that wasn't a serious question.
We're keeping
That
The
was
Apprentice up till 10 to watch that crap.
That game should be on Peacock question. Okay.
I believe the under is on a pretty good stretch when Iowa and Rutgers get together. So,
Iowa unders and Baylor overs.
There's a nugget.
And Rhule better as an underdog in Waco than Lincoln. Discuss.
well,
Lincoln better than
against
Waco.
Small sample size, just 11 games.
Rule against the spread as a Nebraska head coach. That's all that
Oh, McMaster Sportsbook fades Matt Rhule. Is that what
I
you're
don't
saying?
bet on Nebraska games.
Okay.
I get that.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's gonna keep you around for a long time.
I don't bet on Bears games either.
Okay.
I
Or you're not allowed.
No.
Bet on them
not
to win
that.
on Sunday.
I already have enough stakes in the game. My heart is already in it.
You're good Sunday.
True.
You're good.
When I don't have my heart-
your heart and your wallet to go kaput.
No, because that's how you lose bets.
All right. Go
Shout out.
Bears this weekend.
Shout out heart disease.
Thank you, Gary.
Coming up, as I mentioned, those two, and then Mike Schaefer. It is a
You're gonna win.
busy recruiting weekend as well. All of that to come in the next 3 hours of Football Friday Fiesta on 1620 The Zone. All right, hour number 2 of a big game. Football Friday Fiesta ahead of Nebraska and Michigan. Again, thanks to everybody that stopped by the roundtable yesterday. Jeremiah was there.
Yes.
He was locked in.
He was awesome.
It's a hockey dad.
Cheddar?
Chad. I guess I know him as his real name, but yes.
He introduced
Cheddar
himself
Cheetah?
to me as Cheddar.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Well, should people be introducing themselves as their Twitter handle?
I think I should. Matt McMedia, nice to meet you.
I think his
Gary Sharp 1620. Nice to meet you.
I think his name is in his Twitter handle, or he's been a long time listener. I've gotten to know him. Yeah, that was good to see everybody. And awesome. Dave from Taiwan was there.
Did I meet Dave?
I'm not sure if you did. He came over.
Oh, I think I shook his hand, but we didn't have a proper combo.
Also got to finally put a face with a name to Ryan, who I've interacted with a long time, as loyal 1620 The Zone listener. So it was great to see him. He was there. They were on lunch break.
Okay.
So they stopped by. Thanks to everybody who stopped by at Oscars yesterday on the round table that was actually at a square table. Hope you enjoyed it. And you know what? You're lucky enough. You get another day of 12 hours of breaking down Nebraska, Michigan. But we'll break it down differently because we have 3 reasons why, 3 reasons why not. Nebraska will win tomorrow and the top 5 players in the game. But before we go any further, it is Old Man Doug on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Good morning.
Doug. Doug.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry I missed the roundtable yesterday. Heck, you're in my backyard, and I'm still unwinding from being gone for a week, so just getting caught up.
Let's be honest. You're the boss, so you can do whatever you want.
But no one does some of the things that I do when I'm gone. So
that's a good point.
Nice flex.
There you go.
All right, what are you thinking?
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win by 7 to 4 points. I don't think the history of Matt Rhule's losses to ranked teams has any bearing on the game. Nebraska's close losses has any bearing on the game because most of these players, weren't part of it. And when Matt Rhule lost to ranked teams, I think that they were a decided, underdog, and he probably, so I don't know how many of those were at Temple, how many of those were at Baylor, but, after he took over Baylor, obviously it was a powerhouse before then with Bryles, but he was a little unsavory, as we all know. So I think what I'm saying is I think his history is a little bit
skewed.
Yeah. And they've got a freshman quarterback, and my strategy with him would be to load the box, stop the run, do lots of run blitzes, press man-to-man coverage, and see if he can beat us with his arm, which I don't think he can. I really don't. And I think objectively, the only reason Nebraska is not favored, or they're the underdog, we'll put it that way, is because of this history, which doesn't matter anything in this game. I think, our run defense is a concern. There's no question about that. But I think that if you look at it objectively, their performance, what was a worse performance? Their performance against Oklahoma or ours against Cincinnati? I think theirs, and those were the only 2 real teams that these teams have played. And I think we have the better quarterback. Obviously, he's a better passer. He's not a better runner. We know that. I did watch. I didn't watch much sports over in Iceland, so I didn't watch any actually, other than what was on Twitter feeds. He does a lot of those quarterback draws, and I don't. That's a lot different than just running straight at people. I think the running back is good, but not great. I just think this Michigan team, everyone's looking at their national championship and everything, and a lot of those players are long gone. So I objectively, Nebraska should win this game by 4 to 7 points. It's going to be close, but I just think everybody is overhyping Michigan and underhyping Nebraska, and only because of history.
So real quick, I agree with that. The last sentence, Doug. I agree with
Yeah,
the
23 means nothing tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with the history of the close losses, but I want to go back to the his ranked losses don't bear anything toward how you feel the game. Do you think, though, that maybe some of the questionable time management that we've seen in the second half in his 2 years here might get you to question some things, or you might be worried about that? Because there have been a couple times where you're like, ooh, I don't know if that was the right decision.
Well, number one, I think his assistants now are better.
Good point.
I think that and now I'm blanking on our new defensive coordinator in White, our
John
almost
Butler.
a wash. Our offensive coordinator is much better.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and he was a nice kid and everything, but I just don't think Rhule got a lot of help in that regards. And I think Rhule is self-aware enough for him to say to his people, hey, if I'm screwing up the clock, you need to say something on the headphones. Versus, hey, this is the way, this Matt's the boss, whatever he says goes. I mean, I do encourage that here. I'm like, hey, don't be afraid to speak up respectfully, and let's not worry about feelings. And I think that's who Rhule is. I think he wants to be the best, and if that means that he's doing it with great coordinators and other people who are speaking up, because they're not dumb. That's really what sunk Scott Frost, in my opinion, was, he brought his buddies and all that kind of stuff, didn't work that hard, and no one really ever challenged him. And, you can't operate a D1 high-level football program that way. But Nebraska's got good players, lot better players, lot better receivers than they've had. Emmett is a year better for sure. There's some other pieces there. I think Harburg brings a lot to the tight end room.
Yep.
I think Dillon's a lot smarter. I did rewatch a little bit of the Houston Christian game, and the best example I can give you is the first drive. And somebody said yesterday, and I'm not sure it was your show or Happer's.
Was it a good comment?
Well, they said that, they were talking about the wind and field goals, and they said, well, he hasn't kicked a field goal in Memorial Stadium. Well, the first drive of the game last week was a field goal, right?
Yeah, that's
or
probably
did
happened.
Did I not see that right now? Granted, it was 20, it was basically an extra point at an angle. But, anyway, he threw the ball. Harburg, if he was really trying, he could have maybe tried to lob it up there and let him go get it.
Right.
But he threw it out of the back of the end zone, says, you know what? I'm not going to risk the turnover. I'm going to take 3 points.
Yep.
That to me, I don't think we're going to give this game away. Michigan, obviously, if they beat us, it wouldn't be a huge shock to me. But I just don't think, I think objectively, we have the better football team. And, Michigan's ranking and all that stuff is just based upon past history. Look at Notre. Is it Notre Dame in the top 25 still at 0-6?
Yes, they are. Doug, all right, we appreciate it. Thank you. Enjoy the game.
Go Big Red.
That's old man Doug. So he said a couple of things that are on my list of reasons why Nebraska won't win.
Oh, whoa.
So they lose the turnover battle, they ain't winning.
Yeah.
So remember, Michigan has taken the ball away 7 times, and then multiple turnovers that they have forced in all 3 games. Also, and it's a given. Like if Underwood has a great day passing, Nebraska's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's 200 yards passing and a 65% completion rate. There's another thing he brought up about the wide receivers, and I think he said 3 NFL wide receivers.
No, that was Mike. But
okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Things are starting to run together.
No, I'm taking lawyer notes over here.
If Nebraska's wide receivers all of a sudden turn into let's go to Valles and pick pumpkins, and because they have been less drops this year, less drops.
Mm-hmm.
If all of a sudden they are dropping footballs and Dane Key in a big game,
sure,
like he has a little bit of history at Kentucky, like in big games, Dane Key wasn't Mr. Stat Guy.
That is a great point.
So if the wide receivers turn into pumpkins and they're dropping balls and Dane Key is not active, then I think that's on my list of why Nebraska won't win this football game.
I think it was it Bishop? I'm almost positive it was Bishop who kind of was pulling the brake a little bit on how effective he thought Dane Key could be because of that statement. Because he just, if you go back and you look at the game logs when they played, I think it was Florida. Like he had by far his worst game of the year. Are we doing the three?
Well, if you got to sneak him in here.
Okay. Well, I have turnovers down here as well because it's just, I know it's just so simple, but like you cannot keep giving the ball. Like you just cannot give Michigan more the ball over and over again. And it has a part to do with the reason why I think Nebraska could win, because if Nebraska can control the time of possession, if they can, and I'm not saying you have to 40-20 or 38-22, but if you can control the game, play at your pace, make Michigan try and rush and play from behind and have to force it down the field more, you're going to win the game. How you accomplish that is don't keep giving the ball to the other team and allow yourself to hold on.
Which they haven't. So that's a nice little trend that started with the first 3 games, but now it's a big game against a team that they make a living on that defense side of the football by taking away the ball, but then taking it away and making it points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and
so we're in agreement there.
And also too, though, I do want to say this, like one of my favorite things about what Nebraska did against Cincinnati was they got that turnover at the end of the first half with Shavers on the forced fumble, and they didn't just putty around and kick a field goal. They ended up scoring a touchdown.
Putty
around. You ever heard that?
No, that's new.
Yeah, you just you putt.
You run like Mahomes?
Was that a Mahomes run?
I call it pitter patter.
I think I'm running like George Prozel, who I went to high school with. This is how he ran.
Did not know George.
He was a D3 football player. He was really good, but he ran like this.
Yeah, I don't think you can make it in D3 running like that. People can see on 1620 the zone TV.
He almost went to Whitewater. No, time possession, though. Time possession and turnovers. Nebraska will win if they have more time of possession, but they're not going to get that if they turn the ball
over. Steve writes into the Equitable Bank inbox 5 things from Steve. So we'll go through all 5 here. Michigan will control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. These are not... I'm just going to cut to the chase. He has Michigan winning the game, but this is why he thinks Michigan's going to win the game. Michigan will win the turnover battle. Dillon will count at least 1 fumble lost or 1 INT in this game. You got to prepare that if there is a turnover and you have a quick change defense, how do you react? Because Nebraska hasn't had to play quick change defense yet.
Yes.
Michigan is better than the narrative that Nebraska media is giving them credit for.
I don't think that's us. I think we've given them a ton of credit.
No, the 23 team aside, Michigan is a good football team, and there are plenty of guys that are starting for Michigan that would start on nearly every team in the Big Ten. You might have a case for like a Penn State or an Oregon, but they're Michigan for a reason. A lot of it has to do with guys that are in the headset and a 5-star that is starting his 4th game. It's a must-win for Michigan, too. I heard that Stanford Steve was breaking this game down, and he's right, and I kind of mentioned it earlier in the week. Like, if Michigan wins this game, they're probably favored from here on to the game against Ohio State. And Rhule will be Rhule, 2-24, which 2-23.
2-23
against ranked teams. Then Steve said Michigan 28, Nebraska 20.
So this isn't on my this is why they'll lose or this is why they're going to win, but it popped up with Doug, and it's something we talked about last week. Matt Rhule in Nebraska cannot have one of those timeouts in the second half where it's in the third quarter with 4 minutes left to go and you're confused on defense, or you didn't get the play call in right on offense, and so you have to burn a timeout so you don't get to delay a game. This is going to be a game where you're going to need all 3 timeouts. Like you're going to need it. Like you just can't do that. We can't have one of those brain farts where it's like you got to burn one when it doesn't matter.
Hey, when we go to break here, which we're going to do here in just a second, when we come back, get the research department. I want to see if Glenn Thomas and Wink Martindale have ever crossed paths
on it,
working together or against each other, Giants, Steelers, those kind of things. When we come back, of course, more on this game. And also, we have 2 major winners from yesterday, in my opinion. 2 major winners. And I'm not talking about the U.S. Open or Wimbledon or Augusta. 2 major winners yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. Because what do winners do?
They get statues?
They win. And they also get statues. That's one of the winners, but it's not who you think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that when we come back. We got Brett Ciancia here in a little bit. Lee Sterling as well as we go with our Hurry up offense in the second hour on the Football Friday Fiesta of Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone. Hey, you need to hurry up and schedule an inspection. Well, here, I'm not, you know what I'm saying. If you have some roof damage, recent storm, wear and tear, and you're like, why are the shingles in my backyard? Why is there leakage? What is going on in my attic and it's not an animal? Well, the best way to find out is to get in touch with my good friends over at Moose Roofing, the MVPs of roofing in Omaha, where they are delivering amazing experiences. Guys like Nate, after you schedule an inspection, you say, okay, this is the deal. This is who I am. This is what I need. This is what the roof is. Nate and his crew, they get on the roof. They take pictures. They take video. They get in your attic. They go in the nooks and crannies to figure out what the issue is, and then they put together a plan for you and your insurance company. Moose Roofing has a separate arm that takes care of the insurance company, that works for you. And then when they go to work, the communication, top to bottom, is seamless. They've got energy. They're personable. Even Nate, we'll give him credit. He's a funny guy. But they are incredibly knowledgeable on what they're doing, and they will educate you on the process so that you feel at home and with a little bit of comfort as somebody is putting a new roof on your home. They are local. They're here before the storm, during the storm, and after the storm to deliver a peace of mind. Yeah, there's a big reason why they've been in business for 30 years in this community. Yeah, because of their commitment to you. So you need a new roof or you needed to have it looked at. Schedule an inspection today. Pretty easy. Go to their website, mooseroofing.com. You are not watching MTV videos early in the morning where this was played a lot. Let's go.
I didn't.
Twisted Sister.
I also had videos before school, so he's not the only one.
What are you doing? Wait, we're not at a mini Kiss concert.
I
all
had
right?
Justin Timberlake, though, but a little later. But.
I didn't know. I've never heard the song until last year because.
So you didn't see Road Trip?
No,
Oh.
Yeah. Good call.
I did not. I did not.
What do you want me to do?
Alright,
Cut it off?
Two big winners yesterday before we get to winner chicken dinner, Brett Ciancia and Eddie Crow. I think we're pretty convinced that Creighton basketball, men's basketball, will never be allowed to slip with the commitment of people that run the program with a financial commitment. A huge day yesterday for Creighton from the Hyder Family Foundation.
That's a big
who-
donation.
So $100 million to athletics, part of a $300 million deal. Facility commitment is unbelievable. That family, they are Creighton, but
They're
just-
well-to-do.
yeah,
Insane.
men's you get men's basketball to a point and it's the sport and it is the cow. Everybody's feeding off of it. It's, you can't go back anymore. So you got, I mean, that's the
a
pride.
great way
That's the
of putting
pride
it.
thing. Okay. You can't have the post Doug year where Creighton slips and people are like, would you like tickets to go see games? So, but that's an unbelievable commitment by a wonderful family. The other winner yesterday, everybody looked at the John Cook statue and the ceremony that they had, and his legacy is there, and it's cast forever. I think we need to give a shout out to George. George Lundeen is the person that put the statue together.
Mhm.
George,
It looks good.
never met you. Great job, because it looks like John Cook. He nailed it. Like a lot of statues, we
Yeah.
talked about them, whether it be Ronaldo, Dwayne Wade.
Ronaldo again. Ronaldo
Yeah.
has two of those.
The
Dwayne Wade
John
is
Cook
rough.
statue outside his building, I'm going to give some flowers to George because he did a great job. It looks there's a lot of pictures of John standing next to a statue, which I think would be very awkward. But I will never
What do
have a
you-
statue. No, because like it's a statue. I
Well,
don't
look
wanna
at
see myself
Rocky.
in bronze. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like a, I mean, it's a cool deal. I would be weirded out.
I would make
He's
them make me
challenging you to
6 foot
fight.
though.
I would be weirded out.
I'd make them make me taller.
No, you can't.
No, it definitely can.
You can't.
I'd be like, give me an inch.
Matt
No.
wasn't 7'4".
No,
No, not that tall. I'm at 6'1".
you can only lie on your license. Okay,
I
Um,
don't.
but the statue.
Law of 3.
The statue, great job, George.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet George because George did a great job. When a lot of people fail and you're like, oh, that doesn't. The one Coach Cook, bang.
I thought you were going to give credit to me. I called it.
For
I told him I told you he wouldn't be smiling. Remember that? I told you, I go, you can't have teeth on the statue. No teeth on the statue. That's why it looks so good. I thought you were going to give me some kudos. So you're like another winner, and you were winding it up, and I go, here it is. I was about to step up and grab the Oscar, and then you gave it to the guy who made it. Good for him, I guess. Is that cowboy hat going to be on there the entire time?
no, it'll be stolen if they leave it on there. Okay. I don't know. Maybe Nebraska volleyball fans are like cool, and they're like, no, they'll have like their own watches. Like they'll have a list of okay, you
What?
got to watch the statue
No.
from midnight to 6 a.m. to make sure the cowboy hat doesn't come off or somebody steals it.
Like a line of deep.
I was going to say, I love the statue. The statue's great, but maybe cowboy hat thing. Or maybe take the big old end off the cowboy hat and just have a black cowboy hat.
Then is he really the Nebraska Cowboy?
Or is it Jerry
But he's,
Glanville?
yes, because he was the Nebraska volleyball coach and he's got a cowboy hat on. The Nebraska Cowboy. You're looking at me like
Speaking of
don't be
the
ticky-tacky
speaking
about
of the
statue.
Cowboys, nice win last time by Boystown. They beat them.
Hey, the Cowboys.
Hey, should.
The other one's tonight playing Tulsa. Them either.
Brett Ciancia is coming up next. People in the world of college football that consume content think about a statue for BC.
After Pick 6 Plus, yes.
He'll join us next on 1620 The Zone.
Football season is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. You can play right now here in the state of Nebraska. It's easy. Just pick whether your favorite players go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. If you get your picks right, up to 5,000 times your cash, you can play with as little as $1. This week on Underdog, I'm picking the Cowboys to suck because they do. So good for Matt. His team will win. Although I think Dak will have a decent game. So I'll pick him to go higher. We'll pick a lot of the other guys to go lower. And it has to be about the Cowboys running the ball. That's definitely lower. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code ZONE to score $50 bonus fund. Play your first $5. That's promo code ZONE. Millions of fans have already won millions. Make picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present. Nebraska terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _TFS details. Consult with your play call 1-800-GAMBLER as an NCP gambling.org.
All right, it is time for Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews. Congratulations on the Eagle victory on Sunday.
Oh man, well,
Um,
they took advantage of the tush push. I don't know. That's kind of fake football.
oh, okay.
Whoa, are you an
Yeah,
Eagles fan that's anti-push?
Just trying, doing all the time. So, guys, we got a bigger game to talk about tomorrow, right?
Yes, we do. We will wind our way to Nebraska, Michigan, but let's go a little rapid fire here because it's getting juicy in week number 4. Let's start in the Big Ten. You want to compete in the Big Ten? You're Illinois or Indiana. You need to win this game. Google Me has earned the respect. Illinois, efficient offense, stout defense, 6.5-point underdog. Maybe a prove it game for a top 10 team for the first time in 24 years in the Fighting Illini. This gets a primetime spot on NBC. Illinois, Indiana. Thoughts, Brett?
Yeah, well, in the preseason, I was higher on Indiana, and I took a lot of flack from people in Champaign, Illinois. I had Illinois outside my top 25, outside my top 35, pretty much. And yeah, I think with Indiana, you have a more complete team. You have a more proven team. Last year, they blew out almost every opponent. I mean, they were very dominant statistically. They brought back all 3 All-American defenders they had, and I think they upgraded a quarterback, bringing in Mendoza, who's still perfect on the season. So I'm going to go Indiana here. Who would have thought, looking at Indiana in September, this would be a key ranked matchup. Rightfully so, they both have deserved it, but I think in a proven spot, I'm going to go Indiana here and to cover the spread.
All right, we go from ranked in the Big Ten, ranked in the Big 12. Utah versus Texas Tech. Look, this is a very sneaky, really good quarterback matchup. I know you know Morden for Texas Tech and then Dampier, who's had a really heck of a good start to the season for the Utes. Utes are a 3.5-point favorite at home. I mean, it's going to be a slobber knocker.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely love this game, and this is the kind of football I like to see. All the widest. These are the 2 favorites right now, in my opinion. So maybe a little middle preview, or at least we'll go a long way determining spots for Dallas. 91st straight sellout for Utah, and I know on this show that's not going to really ring home, but outside of Nebraska, that's one of the longest streaks in the country. It's a pretty passionate fan base. 10 a.m. local kick, though, so kind of interesting there. Position on position strength. I love Utah's offensive line, number 1 in the Big 12. Against Texas Tech's D line, and that's of course they pumped it with all those transfers. It's their oil money transfer class. So I've watched all 3 games for each team. I do want to go Texas Tech here. They seem to have more athletes at receiver, better pass game. Aaron Ward is probably the best kept secret in college football right now. I know you guys are on it, but to the national audience, yeah, I'm going to go Texas Tech. And it takes a lot for me to pick against one of those teams that I just love with 6 previews, 6+. But I'm going to go Texas Tech here on the road. Give me the 3.5, and I think they're going to be an exciting game.
By the way, people that did not subscribe and I get Pick 6 Plus in your inbox in the middle of the week, you are missing out. Again, kudos for that together this season. All right, stick with ranked on ranked. Jackson Arnold didn't talk to the media this week. The former Oklahoma starter, Auburn, number 22. They go into Norman, they're number 11. I know that's like the main storyline. I think the bigger storyline to me as I watch Auburn is their secondary has struggled. And there's a John Mateer on the other side with that Sooner offense. Auburn's on the road. Oklahoma's at home. It's the same time as Nebraska, Michigan. Does OU get 4-0 or does Auburn get 4-0?
Yeah, I'm picking Oklahoma here. It is a storyline. I like seeing Oklahoma's interior defensive line, one of the best in the country. Their defense is nasty, and they're running Hannibal here again. So that's the out of the ball. I like that matchup. That's the role of Presley. You realize how much of a winner he was. He just bully the ball against Baylor. He played it running it every play. I think they put up 300 plus rushing yards in Baylor. The big wild card in this game is, does Auburn have a passing attack? And I say that because they haven't needed to use it yet. Against Baylor, like I said, they only 200 rushing yards, didn't need to try it. And then they had the 2 non-AQs. So, and I know they have great receivers. Eric Singleton is top-rated transfer receiver in the country coming from Georgia Tech, and Coleman is a 5-star. So I know they have talent at receiver. They haven't had to try it yet. That's the one angle I don't know. They have a great passing attack just waiting in the wings. So I'll go Oklahoma, but that is certainly something we're not sure about with Auburn.
Before we get to the main event, I want one more SEC matchup here: Missouri versus South Carolina. That now Lenora Sellers, who got injured last week and lost her Vanderbilt, he practiced yesterday, so there's a chance that he'll end up playing tomorrow. But Brett, with how Bo Pribula and Ahmad Hardy are playing, will it really matter? I mean, the Tigers look pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And I like this line. I like this Missouri win with out. Sellers really. In the preseason, South Carolina was the version of Illinois. I was fading them hard, did not have them ranked, despite seeing them in the AP top 10. I was selling South Carolina, no pun intended, with Sellers. But I was kind of vindicated last week with what Vanderbilt did to them. With or without the quarterback, he was totally dominant. Even their first couple of games, they really relied on special teams to bail them out. 3 return touchdowns in 2 weeks. So I'm fading South Carolina harder now. And Missouri's looked the part so far on both sides of the ball. And Fabiola put up a lot of stats and points. Ahmad Hardy put up 250 rushing yards too. So I'm going to go Missouri in a blowout spot here against South Carolina.
Theo was happy that Vanderbilt won because he's going to get to go out with Antoinette. Diego Pavia.
Well, Diego's trying to find out.
Yeah. He loves majoring in school. He's never going to leave our life. Let's stay in the SEC because this is a very interesting game from the standpoint that Ole Miss, with a question of their own because of an injury, but Trinidad Chambliss, he was great in his first start for Ole Miss. I got a sneaky game because Tulane could get a flashy bullet point on its resume by beating Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 13 again. This is another 2:30 Central game. Any worry about Ole Miss in this game at home in Oxford?
Yeah, I've got and you actually missed a couple weeks, so their defense is not where it was last year. Last year, one of the best defenses in the country. They sent a lot of guys to pros. It was a record Ole Miss draft class. They didn't really reload as much on defense as they did in the offense. So Arkansas went up and down the field on them. Even Kentucky was scoring some points. It's one of the worst offenses in the league. So I've got concerns defensively with Ole Miss. And I don't know now with Chambliss, now that he's got a game on tape. He's the former Division II quarterback, and I know he was excellent there. I think he won a national title with Ferris State, but still, this is a major step up from D2. And Tulane, they're right now the projected favorite for that non-AQ playoff spot. So, this is definitely a trap spot for Ole Miss. Keep an eye on this one.
Gary keeps making jokes at me because I've morphed into a Big 12 honk with how much I've been enjoying the games and how wide open the conference is. We have, a very important matchup for these two teams. Arizona State goes on the road, takes on Baylor. I've been saying death, taxes, and Baylor overs. It just seems like they can score the ball whenever they want, but that Dave Aranda defense, for whatever reason, can't figure it out. State coming off tough loss to Mississippi State. I mean, this is a make or break, right, Brett?
Yeah, this is huge, and I agree with you. I love this conference. It doesn't get as big as the media attention, but they pack their stadiums. They're shaking the cameras at Utah and BYU. It's so loud. I'm excited for this one too. You're right about Baylor. It's like they're back in the 2010s Big 12. All offense, no defense, and you wouldn't expect that from Miranda, but that's just how it's been last couple of seasons. Arizona State, they have not looked the part at all. They've not looked like last year's championship team. Sam Levitt really uncomfortable passing. He's second worst in the conference in QB rating, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. It just does not look right now. So based off what I've seen through 3 games, I'm going to go Baylor at home. I think they're going to light up the scoreboard, and I don't think Arizona State can match that pace. So I'll go Baylor.
Brett Ciancia, Pick Six Previews, joining us. I think you're a sicko, and I say that with it's a term of endearment from me to you, because I know that 11 o'clock tomorrow night, you're going to be staying up to watch Michigan State USC, right?
Oh, I can't wait. You know that. Yeah, my dad texted me. He says 11 Eastern. They're finally putting a game before noon. What's going on? I said, no, my friend, that's 11 p.m. That's the graveyard shift. I can't wait. So I'll have that one featured. Usually a couple 10:30 kicks as well. I like USC here big. I love their offense, and I also look at this. I was looking at this with Pick 6 Plus. These teams that have to travel 2 time zones. These new Big Ten teams, when they're traveling east into the central time zone, or vice versa, central and east going out west. I think it's something like .300 against the spread or something, .300 against the spread. Really a tough spot for the traveling team. That's Michigan State this time. So I like our USC. A lot of different reasons why, but I think they're going to run it up on them.
Miami proved they're the best team in the country, or does Napier pull a rabbit out of the hat?
I like Miami here, and they really answered all my questions I had. And there weren't many. I had them in the playoff in my preview magazine, and they've even exceeded that. And they reloaded a quarterback. Carson Beck leads the country in completion percentage. Defense, that was the liability last year, but they packed it with great transfers, and they're shutting down teams. Their pass rush is one of the best in the country. O-line is stout. So all around, I like Miami. Now, here's what you want to look for with Florida. Do they quit, or do they keep fighting? Because I think they're going to lose. I don't think that should be fireable, but if they end up quitting, if the team loses by 30, 40 points, if they're not hustling, then you start talking about firing. But, a hard-fought game, 7, 10 points, I don't think you fire the guy. It's not his fault today to face so many tough teams in September.
Hey, let me give you two off the marquee slot in the Big Ten. Do the road teams win these games? Tonight, Iowa at Rutgers, and then tomorrow as a 10.5-point underdog, Maryland at Wisconsin.
Oh, well, I think I like Rutgers tonight, actually. It's kind of a coin flip game for me. Their offense, this is rare for Rutgers, 30-plus points in 7 straight games. That's a record, a school record. Callie McManus, a familiar guy to Big Ten fans, he's lighting it up. Love their receivers. They're going to test Iowa tonight. I've not been impressed with Iowa so far. So I'll take the home Scarlet Knights here in Jersey.
Okay.
But then in the other one, I'm going to go Maryland. I like your pick there. Their redshirt freshman or true freshman quarterback, Washington, he's been great. And Wisconsin just broken down right now. And they're coming off the Bama loss. So I'll go Maryland.
All righty. Main event here. Nebraska versus Michigan. Both teams have incredibly high stakes in this game. Michigan trying to reassert their dominance as a top team in the Big Ten. Nebraska trying to prove, hey, things are really moving in the right direction with Matt Rhule. How do you see it, Brett?
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited for you guys to experience this. I think it's the biggest Nebraska home game since 2016 Oregon. And you can throw in last year's Colorado just for other rivalry sake and other, Deion reasons. But I think if you're looking at it, biggest home game since that Oregon wrapped up. And also, that's the last time Nebraska has beaten a ranked team. So you have that streak hanging over your head. And, it just seems like every few years this spot comes up for Nebraska where it's, second or third year of a head coach, and it looks like everything's trending the right way. You have a big national moment. You want to see Nebraska finalize it and get it done, get the W. So, and they have a great shot this time around. Here's what I like about it. The passing attack looks much improved. This is the best Nebraska quarterback play I've seen. I was trying to rack my brain on this. You got to maybe go back to Joe Gans. Is that possible, guys? I mean, for passing the ball, I know he had some great runners there with the Martinez quarterbacks, but passing the ball, I mean, am I forgetting something obvious? You might have to go all the way back to 2008 to see that. So I like that vertical pass game, intermediate pass game. He kept it shorter distance against Cincinnati. That's just what the defense gave him. But against Akron, Houston Christian opened up a bit. I like Emmett Johnson at running back. Here's my concern. Can Nebraska's offensive line contain Michigan's pass rush? Even if they just bring 4 guys or 5 guys, that's still pending for me with Nebraska's rebuild is where is that offensive line at? But anyways, I like Nebraska to win it. It's going to be a tight game. My numbers love it. You saw there pick 6+. I got Nebraska by 4, really going against the grain of what Vegas is saying. But I think I like Nebraska here, guys.
Hey, we appreciate it. Great stuff. We're going from sun up to sundown and a little bit later tomorrow. As always, again, that pick 6+, that is a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fantastic addition. I always enjoy it. And I always enjoy our conversation on Friday. I hope you're right.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Enjoy it. It's going to be rocking tomorrow.
It will be. That's Brett Ciancia from Pick 6 Previews. As we will get Lee Sterling's thoughts on the Nebraska-Michigan game coming up here shortly. I like Maryland. I like Maryland and Wisconsin.
I was shocked that you asked that about that game.
Why?
I was just like, I didn't think that we would get there.
Got there.
I was shocked.
We got there. We get there with our good friend from Paramount Sports, Lee Sterling. We're on a nice little roll. We're trending. We welcome him in. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Well, not great morning for me. Another Dolphins loss. So the only good news is maybe the GM and coach are hopefully one game away from being let go.
Yeah, you're not going to want to read Greg Cody's column this morning in the Miami Herald.
Oh, I read it. I read it.
Lee,
I read it.
Lee, before we get to the picks, Gary's laughing right
Mhm.
now because I've been waiting to ask you this.
So you teased us last
Yeah.
week, and then you left Matt kind of hanging, and now he wants to know what it would have been, how he would have been rewarded.
What was your 50-unit play? What was the spread? What were the teams? What was that game?
Pitt Panthers
Okay.
let us down.
Oh,
Everything had gone wrong. They were up
Yeah.
10,
they were.
Yeah.
laying 7 5 minutes ago, and what did they go into? Prevent defense.
They did.
So
Oh my
cost
God.
them.
That was the game.
Just one of those games. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. We were penalized over 100 yards. Eli Holstein, usually very good, looked horrendous, looked like a true freshman. Give West Virginia credit, but
Sure.
still don't think West Virginia is good. That might be the only time in the next 10 years that a team rotates 3 different quarterbacks, not to give different looks, because the quarterbacks were so bad and they somehow won the game.
Yeah.
That's awful.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, Lee. Sorry to bring
Pat
that up.
Yeah.
Narduzzi,
All right.
dead to Lee Sterling. Let's talk about Jackson Arnold. That's the storyline.
right.
But John Mateer is also a storyline. Auburn, Oklahoma, in Norman.
I think Jackson Arnold was much improved. Well, we didn't even know what he was about last year because his offensive line was horrendous, and then lost his top 5 receivers for the entire year. He's playing much better this year. Did lead him to a win against Baylor when it looked like Baylor started off the game was going to be their night. But give him credit. But most of the big plays they hit on were broken plays, for him running the football or scrambling around, making things happen. I don't think he's going to be able to do that against this Oklahoma defense. Thinks it's much better than the Baylor defense. And I mean, being a former quarterback, I know coaches, they could tell you my weakness is inside and out. I think Brett Venables, being the head coach and the defensive play caller, is going to be able to come up with a really good game plan. And I think right now, John Mateer, if I had a vote for the Heisman, he'd get my vote. The kid is incredible. If you're not sure how good he is, pop in a tape of him watching, like go to YouTube, the Washington State-Washington game last year. Very little talent around him. He willed his team to win, running and throwing the football. And without him, last week, Washington State, they were losing 42-0 to North Texas at the half. So I think he is right now my number 1 Heisman vote. And I like Oklahoma here at home. Who's at Auburn might feel differently or be closer, but Oklahoma pulls it out 34-24.
Big spot here for the Luke Fickell era in Wisconsin. They take on the Maryland Terrapins as a 10-point favorite.
What did you guys think when the line came out?
I was indifferent about it. I mean, Wisconsin didn't look great against Alabama, but Maryland definitely doesn't have a ton of firepower or anything like that for me to get afraid. I don't know. It's kind of all honesty, Lee, I wasn't really touching it.
What did you think the line was going to be?
I would have said like 13.5 Wisconsin.
See, I thought it was going to be lower. I thought it was going to be 7.5, 8. So I think they're begging you. I've seen this happen many times through the years when you bet that many games and watch line movement. Sure. So I think they're begging you to take Maryland because Maryland has looked good so far, but they played no one. They played defenses like FAU. I think Wisconsin is one of these teams they can beat teams they're better than. They just can't play with the talented teams. They just don't have the playmakers. And, we saw that against Alabama last week. I think freshman Malik Washington is talented, and that's why they went with him as a true freshman. But 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception. He is averaging 9 yards per attempt. But I think he throws every ball at like 98, 99 miles an hour fastball. You got to have some touch on some of these passes. This is going to be the week where I'm going to predict a couple of these balls ricochet off receivers' hands because he throws it too hard for interceptions here. I like Wisconsin. I think they win this game here 27-13.
All right, body clock game, 11 p.m. Body clock time for Michigan State. At USC, we get to see 2 really good quarterbacks play. Big favorite for USC.
You think Childs is good?
I think he's a lot better than he was last year. He's trending in the right direction.
Yep. Okay, I would agree with that. He is trending in the right direction. Here's the problem, though. Their offense is firmly in the middle of the pack, and they played no one. Almost every statistical category, running and throwing the football. But they're going to run. I think USC's run defense, people don't realize how much better it is this year than the last couple of years. They're allowing just 87 yards per game running, 3 yards per carry. And I think Michigan State needs to be in, 2nd and 3, 3rd and 2 situations. They're in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8. I think we'll have trouble against USC. And being said, the body clock has to matter. This game traveling could end close to 2 a.m. on the East Coast here. I like USC. I think they pull away late, 44-20.
This is a massive game in the Big Ten. Indiana, the Kurt Cignetti train, they host Illinois. Two teams who've had weird starts, right? Indiana only beats ODU by 13. People are kind of panicked by it. Illinois, on paper, that win against Duke looked really good. But if you watch that game, I think it was a little bit different than what the score prevailed. What do you have here, Lee?
Yeah, it was different. It was very close until like middle of the fourth quarter. But they did wear down Duke. And I think that their defensive line is very good. And I think that might be the difference here. I know Fernando Mendoza pretty well. Saw him a couple kind of times in high school. He's good, but he's not going to get drafted in 2nd, 3rd round. I don't think he's a next-level quarterback. He only had 16 touchdown passes last year at Cal. Everyone remembers the game against Miami, against every other decent opponent. They didn't have a tough schedule, didn't do very well. In fact, he was sacked 50 times. Cal's offensive line gave up 50 sacks last year. So I think in Illinois here is stronger on the offensive and defensive line. If the line was 1.5, 2, I might give Indiana a shot, but getting, almost a touchdown, I think it's too high. I mean, we're seeing this line, it's 6.5 some places here. Yeah. I think Indiana's going to win the game 30-27, but give me Illinois at close to plus a touchdown.
All right. There have been few and far between like big games where people are here and there's a buzz. You were at one of them about 11 years ago when Miami was here. That's going to happen tomorrow in Lincoln. Michigan, Nebraska. The line really hasn't changed much except for going up a point. It was 1.5 for a while. Right. Now Michigan's a 2.5 point favorite. Let everybody know what you think happens tomorrow at Memorial Stadium.
So if you matched up maybe the top 40 players, I would say that Michigan might have more talent. I think most people wouldn't argue with me. Okay. But games aren't just won on talent. It's won on matchups. And I do believe that Dylan Rhule is ahead of Bryce Underwood right now. Bryce Underwood thinks he's going to make a good pro. I think he's that good. But watch on anything farther than 3rd and 5 early in the game. Most of the time, almost every pass is before the sticks. When you have 4 guys out on a pass pattern, you got to have 3 past the first down marker. And a lot of times they were throwing flanker screens, 3-yard hooks to tight ends. And that's not going to get it done here. I think Nebraska's watched the film of Oklahoma, and you're going to see a lot more of that. And I think Raiola with Dana Holgorsen, I think they're a better match here at this point in their careers. Nebraska defense, I think, is going to do fine. I still don't think the Michigan offense is there. So if they continue to play fairly well, I think they'll have the advantage. And Matt Rhule, the first year when he was here, he didn't have the talent, didn't have the players. So don't look at him as 0-2 as a home underdog. Last year, he wasn't in that role. So I think you're going to see the real Matt Rhule here, who's 5-2 against the spread at Baylor's a home underdog. And who is Michigan's coach? Well, it's not Sharon Moore. He was suspended for 2 games. He's not been around the facility. It's going to be Biff, Back to the Future, Poggi on the sidelines. And if you remember him, you're not sure. He's the guy that wears those sweatshirts that are cut off above the shoulder and makes a lot of bad decisions. So Biff might mess up this game here for Michigan, making the decision, maybe going for it on 4th down. He's very aggressive and might come back to haunt him here. Wrong team is favored. I like Nebraska straight up 24-21.
That's incredible. Lee, you are a true college football fan because your game of the week is tonight, Friday night on Fox. Iowa takes on Rutgers. Iowa's favored by 2.5. How can they get it, Lee?
Be just one of the first 5 callers. Call 800-400-9741. Give it to them for free. And I get probably more emails, letters, and calls about this promotion than any of the others maybe combined. Why? It's the baker's dozen. 13 games combined Saturday and Sunday, just $97. You heard me correct, only $97 for the entire weekend. So if you've never tried us before, or for some reason you got off the bus, get back on it. $97 for 13 selections, Saturday and Sunday, Baker's Dozen, and we've had some 12-1, 11-2, and 10-3 records on this promotion. So it's available right now. It's immediate download. You don't have to call me back Saturday and Sunday. You're ready to go. You want to hop on and get it? Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
Lee, good luck this weekend as always. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That's Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. People are getting a little antsy. They're like, too many people are saying Nebraska's going to win.
Yeah, both our experts picked them.
But will the ball knowers in studio pick them? That's coming up at 9:49:30.
Okay.
To be exact.
Okay.
We'll share some more thoughts. We'll run through some emails. We'll say hello to everybody on the tubers with the great conversation that's going on there ahead of Nebraska and Michigan tomorrow. It's kind of fun. We didn't do this last week.
No, we didn't.
We'll do more of it coming up in the third hour on a Football Friday Fiesta on 1620 The Zone.
Go ahead and sing it. Sing it.
All right, welcome in. Hour number 3, Michigan Week.
Wow, you got a special dance if you're watching on the 1620 The Zone.
Let's
TV.
go. It's Michigan Week. It's a
shouldn't-
big
You should
game.
make an open with that song. I'll make an open with that song. We'll try and find.
Okay.
I'll try and find a way to do that.
Welcome back in. It's Gary and Matt. There is Jimmy, Mike Schaefer, Matt Verzal is still to come on the station that covers the Huskers better than the Husker defensive backs. We'll be covering Michigan wide receivers tomorrow. This is the lineup for tomorrow. If you do not know, Michael and John will be doing the pregame show under the viaduct. And then immediately afterwards, get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong. Immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. Immediately after the game, you can join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. This week's game is Nebraska-Michigan. 2:30 kickoff, so you do the math. We're looking at about a 6 o'clock airtime for Josh Peterson, Matt McMaster. They'll be taking all the calls. They'll be live in studio. You can hear Big Red Overreaction, whether you're at the game and driving home or wherever you might be, right here on your home for the Huskers, 1620 The Zone and 1019 The K. Brought to you by Equitable Bank, No Name Nutrition, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, Prairie Flower, Play Longer, Win More, and Peerless Energy Systems. Get your postgame right with us.
Robinson steps to the plate. This game is tighter than a pair of leather shoes on a rainy day. As old Curly's on the mound. He tried going at Robinson early in the game. The Brooklyn Dodgers
coming
lead the
after
Pitts-
Odson's 1940s
The
guy?
Brooklyn Dodgers lead the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-1 here. The Dodgers win the game. They will end up winning the pennant and taking on the New York Yankees.
What, British?
That was pretty good. Come
A
on.
couple of things here. J-Man, Nick Sportsbook and the Football Pervert are on BROR.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that nickname, Gary.
That sounds
That's a
like
good
an
one.
80s
That's
TV
sticking.
show.
That's every
Jake and the Fat Man.
I get tweeted at by people calling me Mick Sportsbook.
At least they don't call you McPervert.
That's
Why?
a good point. Jimmy!
That would be worse.
Jimmy, stop it.
But you're not. That's my point. You're a
a good one.
wholesome young boy.
Why is Josh a pervert? What
they
did he
call
do?
that's the bit on USC. He's a
So he's a
football
pervert.
He
Oh.
loves football.
Oh,
He's a-
football.
He's
Football
a
pervert,
So you
not a
have to
pervert
say
pervert.
you have to say football.
Yeah,
You
we're
can't just
not
say Josh
calling
is a
Josh.
pervert.
No, we're not calling Josh Peterson a pervert. We're calling him a football.
He
pervert.
loves ball.
I'm trying to defend him. If people are calling him a pervert, I first want some background.
Yeah. So
and then I think I could, not because I am, but because I think I could determine if you're a pervert or not.
have you determined that he is a pervert by knowing Josh?
You know what?
or as
I
long
have a
as you've
good
known him?
eye. I have a good eye for perverts.
You have a good radar?
Yeah. I go to the grocery store and I'm like,
Pervert.
no, yes, maybe.
You're walking with your significant other. You're mumbling under your breath. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Honey,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Pervert.
J-Man,
Either
a couple predictions here on 1620 The Zone, the YouTube page, 20-10. He's sticking by it. Jeff has Michigan 34-17.
Let's see.
There's a lot of love, but you know what? A lot of people like Nebraska.
There's a lot of great football knower conversations going on in our. I'm seeing Charlie McBride and the 3-3-5 defense pop up. Shout out Tommy.
He
He's
knows
just
football.
Hey, can
just
we
laying knowledge? On
can I start the discussion now for your little get together after the game tomorrow?
my little get together? You mean Big Red Overreaction?
Yes,
Okay.
you and the perv.
It is
Yes.
a little get together.
The
It's just three of
football
you.
pervert, not the pervert. The football pervert.
Yeah, Josh, don't be a pervert. Just be a
He's
football
not.
pervert.
They're not playing Penn State.
I'm glad that he's not. That's hey,
Stop, Jimmy.
They're
That
not.
was sneaky.
No,
That was sneaky.
I'm just clear. They're playing Michigan football.
I heard that.
technically he's no longer on the sidelines.
Technically, he isn't. There's nothing technical about it.
You never know. Weird things happen. People can get out.
Well, unless
And-
unless it's the Pennsylvania Penitentiary, he's not on the sideline.
Can I just start this? Because I will definitely listen.
Okay,
But I got it's Parents' Weekend. Okay.
it is.
Okay. So it is.
I just sorry.
it's-
I get a laugh every time Parents Weekend gets up. I just laugh because it's a fun weekend and I have really
Yeah.
good memories of
Moms.
parents' weekends.
I,
Dads, really. I mean, man, go to
Oh.
the bar. They buy you shots. It's a great time.
yeah.
Parents' weekend,
Um,
even though I wasn't in a frat, parents' weekend was awesome.
The old Sharpster will be in the bottoms tomorrow.
That is wild. That is crazy.
So we are foregoing the get together in front of the union, and we are
Oh,
going
really?
to
Turtle Creek, baby.
one of the person's houses that is down in the bottoms. So,
That's hardcore.
That is something.
yeah. So
Sharpen the. When was the last time you were in the bottoms?
well, I own property there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Like
A lot of Capri Suns.
I was-
last weekend just
I-
to stop by.
I was meaning like in a college setting, in like a
Hey,
party setting.
It was
Last weekend.
I just say I just don't want to hear about the cops being called. So you guys can do whatever you want, but just don't get the cops called. Because there are people that are already upset that there's college kids that live in the house
Yeah.
that
Forbid
live
they
next
have
door
fun.
because they've lived. There's an older couple they've lived there for a long time. But they charge for parking. They have a little get together.
Yeah.
I'm not partying there. That'd be very awkward. They make a lot of money off parking. I was like, good on you. None
Good
of
for
you are in
Hey, take
business school.
commission.
So yeah, we'll be down in the bottoms. So I'm
Hell yeah.
looking forward to that. A little backyard party. Haven't done a backyard Nebraska football party in a while.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, but I
Of
want
course
to.
I'm
So
jealous.
so I'm going to do but probably more after the game is over and all my stuff is done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be listening. Can I start this if Nebraska wins a game that's played in a phone booth and it's hard fought and it's a bar brawl?
Yeah,
It's a-
I'll write this
It's
down.
it's a double fisted game tomorrow in Lincoln. Can I just start this?
Yeah,
Because
go
you know
ahead.
the Cincinnati thing. Cincinnati had real rebuilt offensive line and they had their way with run success.
Mhm.
Nebraska looks a little bit different on how they approach the run game
Sure.
on defense. Can you just start the narrative for me? Because this whole game is it's gonna be a physical game, and Michigan is known for
Mhm.
that. That if Nebraska wins a game like this,
Okay.
we can kind of start to drop breadcrumbs around that, hey, Nebraska's identity actually might be their physical as well. You don't really ever hear that
Ooh.
about Nebraska, like in a long time, where, hey, Nebraska's the more physical team. We don't ever hear like Nebraska's wimps and
Sure.
they look like doughboys. Not everybody. But
No,
you
we
never,
don't
that's
hear
never
that.
been, well, we used to.
Well,
Yeah,
not
no.
nationally though.
They just didn't want to say it out loud because they were afraid to offend the people that be consuming their content. But that Nebraska wins a game like this because this Michigan team is Michigan and they're physical and that's their identity. That can you drop some breadcrumbs?
I can breadcrumb
Okay.
that. I just
You
wrote
think
it
that's
down on
fair?
my.
That's fair. You like this and you go toe to toe in a bar fight and you're like, you know what? Last man standing. Nebraska might actually have some physicality to them.
I wrote on my prep here. If Nebraska wins tough game, maybe their new Michigan ?
I wouldn't say new Michigan, but I would say part of the
Of the
DNA is starting to come together.
part of the toughness tree.
Yeah.
Call it that. I think like Matt Rhule.
I mean, I think I don't know. There's this whole of tough guy, physical. I mean, I think it's an identity on how you play the football game. Like you run the ball, you stop the run,
I agree. Yeah.
you win in the trenches, you get ugly.
But it also is part of the players you have. Like I think Michigan got that reputation because Zach Zinter is a massive human being, and Trevor Keegan was a massive human being, and Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham and Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabo. Like all of those dudes were just like you just saw them on the field. You're like, holy crap! Like they're big.
Yeah.
Nebraska has improved in that regard. Like you look at Keona. And you look at Cam,
and you're right, but no one ever says when was the last time. And this is I'm
sure
I'm not being Gary. I'm being real here. Is where somebody looked at Nebraska in a game and said, "Man, that is a physical, dominating football team. The way they go about their business."
Probably Bo. Probably since Bo.
And that was a mindset, and that was ingrained that we are going to be the tougher team on Saturday.
Mhm.
We have some guys that are hit stickers, which Nebraska is starting to develop. They're kind of younger guys.
Yeah.
And just the way you go about your business, like you have a chip, you have an edge.
But I also do think too, Garrett, like
You're not hey, hip hip hooray, good football.
No. Well, I think
That was a previous coach.
I think what we have to
remember that locker room celebration. The first time we were like, hey, that's kind of you. Then we were like, oh, we are soft as margarine.
I knew that was his thing. So when he did it, I was like, oh no, not the Huskers.
Stick with me here. Stick with me because I'm gonna go Galaxy brain for a second, but it's actually a decent take, right? You talk about like being you talk about when was the last time Nebraska was looked at being the tough team and being the more physical team. Don't you have to have kind of like a blue chip running back and like just a mean,
just run down the hill, run you over guy?
Yeah, to like
That
have
helps.
that
helps.
because like let's look at Michigan. They had Blake Corum, they had Donovan Edwards. Like when Nebraska was probably closer to that identity, they had Amir. You know, they had Rex. They
also had an offense that did use their fullback. So yes.
So like I think there's also the mix of Nebraska has
Fair.
built up those lines where they have bigger dudes, and man, I rewatch the tape. Guthrie and Merritt and Shavers and Jones just hit people, and that's awesome. And I love watching it. I'll watch it every day of the week. But you also have to have the, oh my God, Mo Ibrahim's in the backfield. How are we going to tackle this guy? Which is why Minnesota's been another tough. Like that's another team we talk about being super tough.
True.
So I think you got to get that RB.
I talked to the research department. You want to read Sipple's lost T-shirt, which he tweeted at us at Gary Sharp at Matt McMedia. Glenn Thomas, quarterback coach for Nebraska, and Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator for Michigan, have never crossed over. Speaking of running backs, you ready to read the tweet?
No, my thing's glitching.
They have medication for that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not talking about that.
No, you go to the computer nerd and they'll take care of it.
Mm-hmm. It's discreet.
One of my top 5 players tomorrow is not Justice Haynes.
Whoa.
Nope.
Okay. Really?
We all need to start talking about Emmett Johnson. Nebraska does have a running back.
They do.
Nebraska needs the running back to play well.
I
I don't know what his touches are going to look like tomorrow, but would it surprise you if his touches were pretty high? I think Emmett Johnson needs to be one of the top 5 players on the field. Now, he has got – so Justice Haynes leads the Big Ten in rushing at 388 yards. Now, we're going to go back to him a little bit later. But Emmett Johnson is at 326. Emmett kind of quietly has had a good start to the year that is not just, hey, man, they ran him into the ground and, boy, he was great against Cincinnati. And he's like in his last 2 weeks, where, I don't know, I pay him a full-time wage because he didn't play the entire game. Looked okay. And in this game, if we're talking about physicality, he's a guy that likes to dance. Come on now. Nebraska's better running straight ahead, downhill, inside zone. You love your interior guys. I think Emmett Johnson is one of my top 5 players for tomorrow for Nebraska to have success.
So Haynes is at 388, 4th in the country, 7.9 yards per carry. Emmett's at I think 326 or 327.
That'd be correct. Thanks for listening.
He is 6th in the country in rushing yards. Your credit.
Well, quietly.
Because they play tomato cans, but there's nothing been quiet about the fact that he looks so much faster than everybody else when he was running against Akron and running against Houston Christian. And do you know what he did against those teams? He actually put his foot in the ground and was like, I'm going to burst up this hole on this inside zone. I'm not. And then also, too, that run against Houston Christian where he was patient and fouled the blockers and then hit it. If he can just hit the hole tomorrow, I'm not going to tell Emmett not to dance because Emmett's great at dancing, and that's that's kind of his brand in a way. But if there was ever a game where you just told him, man, be the bull, put the helmet down, let the Rhule brand kind of get imprinted on that Michigan helmet, it would be tomorrow. Because I don't think he's going to have that time to just go. Just
do some Phil Collins studio.
I just tried doing you do the nice that I can't do that. I barely can say S's. So trying to make animated points with that is
I got an experienced mouth. Craig writes into the Equitable Bank
they
inbox.
write themselves.
You have a talented tongue?
Gene Simmons did.
You know what? No, because it fails me with things I mispronounce.
Illinois. That's the only one.
Yeah. I don't know where that guy went. There was a guy that when I first started here got at me all the time. Yeah. And I didn't realize it until I asked somebody who I trusted. And they were like, yeah. I was like, it's a natural thing. It's when you're from Iowa, that's how you say it.
I just hope that happens with me and the Creighton people. Creighton.
Right that way.
Craig twin.
That's how you should say it. Craig writes into the Equitable Bank inbox. This is a question for you.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to direct it at you. Okay. He didn't say, hey, ask Matt.
Oh.
Because he says, hey, guys. Hey, Craig. Good. Craig Ball knower from LNK. I'm wondering if you guys think there might be some alignment changes on the defensive front. I can't help but notice Nebraska lacks a fire hydrant nose tackle, but it is perfectly suited roster-wise. Oh, I see where he's going here. To run a 4-3 or a 4-2-5, plus Butler was a 4-3 guy at Penn State. Before you answer that question for tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if Nebraska's base defense under John Butler changes in the next couple of years. And when we say 3-3-5, it isn't always a 3-3-5. There are times that it is a 4-3.
Yeah.
I wonder if that even next year that becomes Nebraska's base defense. Craig continues on. Would it be real interesting if you threw a completely different defense at a true freshman quarterback playing his second game on the road?
So
Thanks, Craig.
4 down linemen, I'm calling for it. I would love it. I go back and I watch the Cincinnati game, and I think Craig is kind of alluding to it. When Winery and Lenhart were rushing together on the ends, those were by far the best PR rushes that they got. And then you had Davis in the middle, and Elijah Judy hasn't had the best season, but man, on those stunts, I mean, he would hit those stunts with Davis, and Davis would have a free, right down the middle because he's so damn big and athletic. I love a 4-2-5 tomorrow. I would 4-2-5, maybe put McCullough and Javen Wright, or you want to get crazy for a second, you go a 4-2-5, and maybe you put Donovan Jones in one of those kind of Roman linebacker spots, right? Who's kind of playing both. They already have a rover, right? But maybe a second rover because he's so good at tackling. And they did that. They brought Jones in for Watson Trent on a play against Cincinnati earlier in the game. And that was one of Jones' best play of the day when he was kind of playing that linebacker spot. So I'd love for them to get creative with 4 down linemen. I think it's a great email from Craig.
I'm glad you brought up a defensive back because also on my top 5 guys in this game to watch is if we're going to give Dylan some flowers, if Nebraska wins this game and Dylan is dingling and dangling.
Yeah.
I think this guy will be dingling and dangling and banging. And you will then put in your mouth top safety in the Big Ten. Deshaun Singleton balls out tomorrow and tackles well and also is part of a key where Nebraska's got to limit explosive plays. Deshaun Singleton is another kind of quiet guy that through 3 weeks has played really well. High-level football. He's playing the kind of football that, remember when he first got here and we were observing Singleton, but he was not like a frontline guy in Rhule's first year. And Rhule at the end of camp said that guy is a Sunday guy. And then unfortunately, Deshaun got hurt, ironically, against Michigan. Wasn't it against Michigan?
It was the first play of the Michigan game.
So the Michigan game
Great
2
call.
years ago, he's back. He's playing at the highest level he's played at Nebraska. That if he shows up again tomorrow, I think it's reasonable to say, man, Nebraska might have one of the top safeties in the conference, but he's got to be one of the top 5 players on the field.
Well, I think what is allowing him to play more free is a guy that I think is a top 5 player heading into this game and who you might be looking at the end of this game saying, wow, Nebraska has one of the top safeties and one of the top corners. Sear Wright has Sear Wright is getting to the point where he's almost shutting down an entire side of the field because of just how dominant he's been. And he's a guy too, where I think they just implicitly trust him, whether it be him on toward the boundary or him on as a nickel corner too. I think they'd be totally comfortable shifting him over to nickel if they had to. He has, I think, given a little bit of freedom with Deshaun where he doesn't necessarily have to, he could be more of a rover as opposed to I got to help over the top. Deshaun's had one bad play all year. Through 3 games, he's had one bad play where he just took a wrong angle on the running back. I think it was Walker against Cincinnati. Other than that, he's pitched a shutout in terms of how he's filled some gaps in the run game.
All right, take a quick break. We'll come back. Your comments are always welcome on Nebraska, Michigan, or anything else going on in the world. I'm talk about Clayton Kershaw. Best regular season left-hander in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's first ballot Hall of Famer.
Easily. He's what Bob Nightingale had a really good stat yesterday. He's one of the last 220-plus win guys in the MLB.
226, 2.54 ERA.
Crazy.
Kopitar's got to read the room. Why do you announce your retirement after 20 years in the NHL?
Wait,
great
Kopitar's gone?
Well, he's retiring after this year.
Oh, I love
And Ovechkin, man, this might be his last year as well. He's 40 years old. Do Russians age quicker than Americans?
Harsh weather, yes.
Because I don't know, Ovi's kind of fought Father Time.
Drago was 17 and looked 30.
They develop way quicker, but they stay like Yamir Yager has looked the same for the last 20 years.
That's
I know,
true.
I know he's not.
Kirilenko never aged.
Maybe the whole conversation here is be Russian. No?
I don't know. Panarin has probably looked 18 for the last 7 years.
Okay. Yeah, but two LA staples announced their retirement yesterday. We're back with more of Gary and Matt and Jimmy on a Football Friday Fiesta on 1620 The Zone.
Week 2 of the 4-quarter pick. Week 2 of the 4-quarter pick'em is officially open. Make your picks now to get a piece of the prize. Play now at 1620thezone.com. Congratulations to the Week 1 winner, Ryan F., who won $250. Ryan, thanks for being a stud. Thanks for playing. 4-quarter pick'em. That's a little bit of a tongue twister for my Chicago accent.
Great ton.
Great ton.
All right. Thanks for giving us some love, Jimmy. We were just talking about ballers off air.
Great show. Great for the family.
Let's go, Spence.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Great open.
I'm so excited to see The Rock's new movie, Smashing Machine, which I definitely thought came out 2 weeks ago, and then I found out like a couple days ago it doesn't come out till October.
Just found out he was in a Jumanji.
What do you mean you just found out? He was like the star in Jumanji.
Yeah, it shows you how much I care.
Hey, legends don't retire; they just reinvent.
What if he wins an Oscar?
We'll be president one day.
No,
He can be the next Reagan.
No, he won't.
I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about in general. Actor.
What if he
president.
wins an Oscar before like some actually legitimate great actors? That'd be crazy.
Timing is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Took Leo forever.
Susan Lucci, though that wasn't an Oscar.
Stanley Tucci won an Oscar. He's had to have, right?
Sounds like he's
Ultimate glue guy, Stanley Tucci. He is. You can't tell me that.
I'm thinking. I'm
waiting,
processing
I'm waiting for more here.
Just every movie that I
comes off the bench, can light it up like the microwave. He's like Vinnie Johnson. Yeah, I got you.
You don't see him in the previews, but then you see Stanley Tucci in like the second scene in the movie, and you're like, immediately, you're like, this is going to be a good one. You just know.
He is going to be part of NBC's Olympic coverage. The Winter Olympics are right around the corner.
What does Stanley Tucci know about?
You just said he was the ultimate versatile guy.
In movies, not in
life.
Not in sport coverage. What is he going to do? Make us a Negroni? Tell us how to make pasta?
Where are the Winter Olympics?
Italy.
They are?
That's why.
Yeah,
Really?
so there. Yeah, bingo. Thank you for the connection.
Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what he's got a cookbook.
Everyone
I'm
has a cookbook.
not surprised. Everybody has a cookbook and a Christmas album.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make money
Does
these
Michael
days.
Bublé have a cookbook?
Oh, I'm definitely.
Oh my God! If Michael
If
Bublé
not,
has
he's gotta
a
get
if
on
this
one.
is the truth, this might be.
All right. Speaking of food, so miss out on Mr. Portnoy and Big Nude coming to Lincoln.
So far, they're still.
Well,
fine
you know
this
what?
season.
Here. So I always wake up in the morning and I have a thought. Yesterday was, I can't believe that Sam Hoiberg still has eligibility at Nebraska. This is the thought I woke
Which is
up
a
with.
valid thought.
This is the thought I woke up with this morning.
By the way, Bublé does have a cookbook.
See,
Told you.
That's crazy.
we need a McCookbook.
Told you.
I could make one.
They used to do like Husker player moms recipes in a cookbook.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
What would that be? Just pasta?
Great
8 times
Midwestern salads that don't have lettuce. Hell yes.
So
over? I'm subscribed to that.
So the one thing we miss out on, and I was thinking about when I woke up today, and don't read too much into this of who it is, but I woke up thinking about Dave Portnoy because
Okay.
There are worse things you could think
if
about.
Big Noon would be in Lincoln, and it still may be, who knows? What pizza places would he review?
This is a
Because
great
he went
question.
to a place when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and still when I go back to my hometown, to Des Moines, actually Urbandale. Do not confuse Urbandale and Des Moines. Urbandale's different, but it's a burb.
Okay.
He went to the tavern over in Valley Junction in West Des Moines.
I've heard of this place. I
Really
don't know
good
why.
review.
I
Good
saw that
place.
yesterday.
Yeah. So that's a place I went to when I was a kid in Valley Junction.
I
It's a little bit old. It's like West Des Moines doesn't technically have a downtown, but that's like the old downtown. Great spot. So we went there and I was like, I wonder if he was in Nebraska, what places he would have done, because it looks like when they were in Columbus, he banged out 4.
Yeah.
When they were, and now, they were in Ames. So I think he's got another 4. He wasn't on last week. What places will he find in Salt Lake City? But I was thinking, what 4 would he do? Would he do a couple in Omaha and then a couple in Lincoln? And which ones would they be?
Got some great places in Omaha.
What did he give the tavern, by the way? I didn't watch it. Now I'm going to go back and watch it now that you say it's a
8-2.
Whoa. Nice. That's a good
He
one.
should.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
He went to the pizza place right by me and didn't give it that great of a score. He went to Yaya's when he came here the first in downtown Lincoln. He gave it, I think, like a 7.4. He just called it a good old college slice. He went to Momo's Pizzeria. I think he gave Momo's like a high 7 or a low 8.
Is that a few years ago?
Yes,
when he was here
this
and
was
did his show?
2023.
Okay.
This is when he did this.
Yeah, because they brought the Barstool show here.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Why not go to Paisans?
Ask Verse.
That'd be great.
He's going to join us coming up in an hour.
That'd be incredible if you did that. Or
but-
Lighthouse, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
What do you think of Lighthouse?
Because a lot of people, because I haven't been to Lighthouse,
How
but
about
people
Tasty?
have told me, well, I haven't been to Tasty, but I've been to the, I'm going to forget its name.
Pizza Hut?
Gary.
Domino's?
No, stop.
Little Caesars?
No, it's right by the bull
Godfathers,
market.
do
It's in downtown. Frank's.
Godfathers?
Is it Frank's?
Frank's?
Frank's would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Big Fred's.
Frank's is a New York
Ooh,
slice. That's how they.
Big Fred's,
Big
yeah.
Fred's would be a good
Mhm.
spot. Yeah. So let's get Dave Portnoy to Nebraska and have him do more. That's what I was thinking
Tweet at
about when
him,
I woke up. The other thing I was thinking about and thinking of food. So last night, every time, the B-roll shots, whenever you have a Buffalo Bills game, everybody wants to
Anchor
do.
bar.
Yeah. And then
Downtown, new stadium.
Bill Bar. God, what is it? I'm screwing up the name.
Ray's?
Arbor, Anchor.
Anchor bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Home of the wing.
here's the deal. They always show wings. Of course, Buffalo wings.
Mhm.
Going to be a hot take here.
Okay.
I don't think, as somebody that has visited the snow capital of the world,
Oscars are better. They're damn good.
wings are not even the best food in Buffalo.
What, you think that pizza is the better food in Buffalo?
Come on,
Donut
bro.
at Tim Hortons.
Come on, bro. Beef on Weck. Go to Duff's or Schwab's in Buffalo.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Excuse me?
I've heard of this.
Beef on Weck. For a guy that's from Chicago, you don't know this?
Is that
It's
just
the equivalent of
is-
the Italian beef.
I was about to say,
Matthew,
my next question
hold
was, is
us
that just
up.
a weird way of saying
no.
Italian
Look
beef?
at this.
It's beef on Weck.
So is Weck just a different...
That's the best food in Buffalo, in my opinion.
Hell
Duff's,
yes.
Schwab's, go there if you ever make it to Buffalo. And if you do, it's not easy to get to.
Jump
but
through
now
a
with our new
table.
airport, you might get there. So there's my two food conversations for the.
Oh my
morning.
God.
Yeah, I know.
That looks like a sexy pastrami.
I'd have to excuse myself.
That's oh my Lord.
Mhm.
Is
There's
that
a
an
little bit of-
everything bagel too?
No, we're not talking bagels. It's
But it
beef on
looks
Weck.
like a bagel.
Okay.
Those on the break room.
All right. Keep it the beef on Weck.
Mm.
That's because in BW3, do you know what the 3 dubs are in BW3?
No.
Wild Wings and Weck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. BW. What is BW? Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't. That was the
Oh.
original
Let's go
name, and then
sports
they
bar.
changed it.
Okay. See, I like this trend of the best thing in certain cities aren't actually the best thing in certain cities because I prefer you just said that. The best thing in Buffalo isn't wings, it's beef on Weck. I don't
know that this is a trend.
yes it is because the
The
best
chicken
pizza,
nuggets
wait,
in
wait, wait.
Chicago are immaculate.
Wait. The best pizza in Chicago is not
Probably
deep
better
dish.
than the pizza.
The best deep dish in Chicago or best pizza in Chicago is not deep dish.
Isn't
Appreciate it.
Chicago known for chicken tenders?
It's tavern style.
Tenders?
You go to a tavern style, you get that thin crackery bread.
I've been to Old
And you
Chicago.
get, I'll tell you another one. I prefer a hoagie over a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. All right.
Well,
Give me a
you'll
Wild Wild
never go
hoagie
to-
any day.
you'll never go to Philadelphia.
I
You
like
wouldn't
a
survive
Wild.
Philadelphia.
Mm-mm.
Oh God, no.
No.
Yeah.
They eat horse poop.
I think Chicago is the limit. I think I'm good there. I don't think I could go any higher with like Boston and Chicago. No New York, no Philly for me. I don't think I'd thrive there.
New York's a banger.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Well, you enjoy some food porn. Let me give you a little football porn.
I'm looking through this Bublé cookbook. It actually is pretty good. It's Michael Bublé's Bungalow Cookbook.
How about
Bublé's Bungalow, something like that. Bigelow Cookbook.
Okay. Now,
Bigelow's
Jacob Bigelow would make a really good cookbook. It would just be sandwiches 14 different ways.
Hey, it's just like Holgerson's game sheet. Which, speaking of,
well
bring
done.
bring it back to football. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
now, everybody, you tune into Big Red Overreaction. Now you know you get Cookbook Guy and the pervert. That's who's hosting
not-
Big Red Overreaction
Not
tomorrow.
cookbook guy.
Cooking with Perverts tomorrow on the Zone. What? You got to listen to find out.
It's because Dino chicken nuggets.
Well, that's one way to
Does
learn.
Josh lean into that he's a pervert, or
They have a
Football
they have
pervert,
a
huh?
picture of
Mhm.
yes, a football pervert,
The man
not
loves
an
him some
actual
football.
pervert.
Mhm.
But there's a picture of him they put with him with binoculars, and
Mhm.
it makes him look
Oh.
like he's like being a peeping tom.
John Larroquette in Stripes. Yeah.
okay? We don't. I don't hear as many people arrested for being a peeping tom anymore.
Yeah, I haven't really kept
Yeah.
up with that in my life,
Yeah.
so I couldn't tell you what the statistics are.
The matchup that'll be better tomorrow. Bryce Underwood, Chip Lindsey against Dylan Rhule or Dana Holgerson. Who will be more lockstep? And will Nebraska tomorrow be running the Matt Rhule plan or the Dana Holgerson plan of ball control compared to it's all about points, ma'am?
They better be running the Dana game plan. They better be. I'm a time of possession. I know. I said time of possession, but you can mix both. You can score points and hold the ball. Like
that is correct.
Like you can have your cake and eat it too. You could have an 11-play drive that's or an 8-play drive, but it lasts 4.5, 5, 6 minutes. Like you can do both. So I would prefer.
They've had what, 2 of those drives?
Yes, they had one of them against Cincinnati, against the only Power 5 team they played. So. No, I don't want to see hey, we're up 10 with 9 minutes to go. We're just going to run this ball 3 times and take 2 minutes off of the clock. No, foot on the gas, man. Keep going.
I would feel a lot better if Nebraska got in front early instead of chasing.
Oh, God. Well, but I would feel more comfortable if I was Nebraska chasing compared to if I was Michigan chasing. If I was Michigan and I was chasing, I'd be afraid. I would be very
jump up
afraid.
14-0. Make them chase.
I would rather play in front because of the possibility of the tension convention. As the longer the game goes and you're still chasing.
Make them throw the ball.
And also, you put Michigan on their heels. You pop it in maybe on the opening drive. You find a way to the first quarter comes to an end, and off the script, you scored 10.
Is this the you're taking the ball if you win the kickoff type game?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Here is Eric on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Good morning, Eric.
Hey, guys. I got to mention one thing just because you guys are talking about pizza joints and this guy can go and get all the pizza he wants, but as long as he goes ahead and gets a slice during the game from the Valentinos inside the stadium, it just gets different than everything else.
That is right.
24-17 Huskers, baby.
Ooh, I like.
Hey, do I dare ask if you're a vendor?
Nope.
Okay. You like Val's and you like that score. Thank you, Eric.
Scientifically proven that cardboard marinates it.
Yeah,
gives it flavor.
I know.
Seasoning.
He did go and have a runza because I remember that. He didn't do a Val's piece, so we don't want him to go to Val's.
No,
we want him to go to the stadium.
Yes, and get it from a hawker too. Get it from just a little kid walking around. Hey, Frankie, we're here inside.
Line it back together.
The old lady on 10th and Vine. We're outside of what? This section 121. I got my cardboard box here, Frankie. They give you a cardboard box here at Nebraska.
Some box cheese.
That's how you'd sound. I do a good Dave Portnoy.
I like your Romo better.
Why are you looking at me like that?
No, somebody's T-Mobile phone is going off.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jim. I think they're not gonna snap the ball here, Jim. Look at the body language, Jim.
Keep flipping through that cookbook.
Yeah, but there's a bright side. If the Chiefs keep not winning, then you won't get Romo.
If I have a bad take or you get annoyed at me, is the line now going to be just go back to the cookbook?
Yeah, just cookbook.
Go to the cookbook.
We've changed it. Just look at the pamphlet. Now it's just
look for
at the
strawberry
cookbook.
pretzel
I would
salad.
tell that if I had a buddy who had too much to drink, my line was go to bed, go to sleep.
Oh, you're a good friend.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
But they'd be up. They would not be ready to go to bed. I'd be like, go to sleep.
All right. Hope everybody's having a good day. We got more coming up. Hope you're having a better day than maybe Trev Alberts is. They're going to have a new president.
Yeah.
A search is on at Texas A&M. The 4th different president in the last 5 years at the Colt. The current one who hired Trev is stepping down at 5 p.m. today. All right. More on Nebraska, Michigan. Your emails, your tweets, your streamers, your in-person conversation, 50th and Capitol is where you can find us. Just don't walk in, buzz the door, please. Or 402-951-1620. Schaefer and Verse still to come, and our predictions, and down to our 3 things why we think Nebraska will win, and our last 3 top 5 players on the field tomorrow afternoon. It's Gary and Matt with Jimmy on 1620 The Zone. All right, before we get to Nate here, I also want to mention this news came out yesterday. If you did not go and see Creighton and Nebraska volleyball on Tuesday night and you were not part of the 17,000 plus, you stayed at home and you also set a record. FS1, the highest consumed volleyball match ever. 388,000 people watched Creighton and Nebraska volleyball. We love volleyball.
It was great TV.
Here is Nate. Good morning, Nate.
Nate.
Good morning, guys. First time caller here.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
We think.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Hey, so I was just calling in. Dave Portnoy did do a review on Valentino's.
Oh,
I'm an Omaha guy myself,
Uh-oh.
and so I agree with him. He gave him an awful review. I think it was like a 4 or something, but I couldn't agree with him more.
Yeah,
Oh, he
you're gonna find, Nate, we only like Val's at Memorial Stadium.
I can agree with that, especially now that they sell beer.
Hey, thanks for the phone call. Yes, so
Tombo.
He's like, I'm watching his body language right now. He is not liking this. 5.9.
Did he not have the dessert
Okay, that's
pizza?
still not
Here, that's
good.
a bang.
Okay, 5.9 though is like he gave Sbarro like a 0. Like,
yeah.
and he gave, remember that Godfather's pizza review where he gave him a 0.0 because he got kicked out of the porch? That was great.
Yeah. Eric said they banned kids from selling items, don't you remember? They changed. So you have to be at least 18 now to be a hawker. The hawkers were back for Houston Christian. They just look like
Adults.
silver sluggers.
You sent me a picture of one. I was like, that's an old man.
Got to make his bag, man. You
What
never
if-
know what's going to happen to your Social Security.
Why can't we just buy the beer people from Wrigley? Because Wrigley's got the best beer people.
Well, they brought in people to help that have knowledge of how to
They
further
br-
along beer sales.
They brought in ringers?
I wouldn't say ringers. They brought in people to help with the whole system
Mhm.
because Nebraska doesn't want to leave money on the table because they're thinking between 1 and 2 million.
Yeah.
So they brought in people, but they have a lot of, as of last week, before Houston Christian, they had a lot of unfilled positions.
They got to bring in Dan the Beer Man in section 120 from Wrigley.
We'll sneak in both here a top 5 player for tomorrow. And I've excluded on my list Dylan and Bryce. Okay, because that's a no-brainer, and that would be too easy. Wink Martindale
is one of your top 5 players.
Yep.
Okay. I like that. Outside of the box.
Defensive coordinator for Michigan. What will they throw at Dylan Rhule? Will they throw something he's never seen before? Remember, he's an NFL guy.
He is.
He's an NFL guy that's got a couple of intriguing options, and Rod Moore at free safety is back. Don't overlook the importance of him being on the field, and also the guy with the green dot and Ernest Hausman. But Wink Martindale has to have a really good day tomorrow to slow Nebraska's offense, to give Michigan's offense a chance and not have this game turn into a shootout or where Nebraska pulls away. So Wink Martindale is on my list as the top 5 most important people to play tomorrow.
I'll give you
a coach.
I'll give you a guy who he's going to throw at Dylan Rhule, Jashawn Barham. He is their lead defensive end. He's had 12 tackles, 2 sacks this season. He didn't play against New Mexico, but played really solid against Oklahoma. Had 2 sacks against Central Michigan. Beast off the edge, just super athletic, just big guy. I mean, like he 6'3", 243. Like he pops. So that's one of those like obscure names of like, who's that dude? Who's number? I think he's number 1. Who's number 1 out there? Jashawn Barham.
So I'm glad that's a good call because he's on my list, and I'll throw one more in here because I had him as a co because I couldn't change the rules because I made up the game. So they moved him from linebacker to edge, and they think they can have a Micah Parsons type role.
Sure.
He was filthy, and he's one to watch. Him and Teddy Prohaska. Teddy Prohaska in this game a long time ago, in a world far, far away from here, on a night against Aiden Hutchinson, we got introduced to Teddy, and Teddy was like, I got you.
Yeah.
Teddy Prohaska could be going up against Barham quite a bit in this game. Nebraska's tackles have to play well, but Teddy in this matchup, when they are eyeball to eyeball, is something to watch. That Nebraska's got to hold their own, or the other part of it is win.
Real quick with Rod Moore, I read an article, and USC had a guy on an interview yesterday. It was a good interview by them. He said that Rod's going to play, but don't expect too much. Like, he'll be out there, but he's not going to be out there often. But still, a guy that you have to mark because he's electric.
Seemed like a secret that Michigan is keeping. Colin writes in real quick here in the Equitable Bank inbox. In South Stadium versus Houston Christian, we only saw Valentino's hawkers and one water vendor. Need to get runs of hot dogs and, come on, Colin, it's soda, not pop. It's soda.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Team soda for life.
Guys.
And still needs to be Coke products, though.
It's just Coke. I just call everything Coke.
Let's go, Warren. Well, you live in Atlanta. If you go to Georgia, everything's a Coke. Could be a Diet Coke, could be water. People call Coke. Yeah.
What flavor Coke you want?
Hey, Colin, good email. Yes, we need Coke in Lincoln. In Memorial Stadium, we need to be doing Coke.
Need it back with the Cowboys.
Let's go, Warren. Let's go, Warren.
We need Coca-Cola products in the state.
I thought you just said it. You just call everything a Coke.
Whatever gets the
But
players.
you just said we need to do Coke in Memorial Stadium. I don't want that to be taken in a different
I'm sure
way.
someone has
You don't go
before.
to the concession and go, I'll do a Diet Coke. You don't do that?
You just wiped your nose before you did that.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
What's that 8-ball doing in your hand?
No. You know what?
Try again later.
For the full disclosure, I have never done cocaine.
Okay.
But at an establishment in West O that is now closed, I watch people do coke off the back of the toilet.
Yeah. First time I ever saw it was at a Chicago Fire game.
Yeah.
How about that?
It was crazy.
High
No, I've
school
seen it.
graduation party.
Hey, I've seen it before, but that's the most recent time I've seen coke being done. I just zipped up and got out. All right. Last hour's upcoming on Football Friday Fiesta. Mike Schaefer and the resurgent Cleveland Guardians. They're coming up next on 1620 The Zone. All right, there are plenty of selfish reasons for the local 22 to play well tomorrow because our next guest and yours truly will be the Sunday side session on Husker 24/7. We welcome in Mike Schaefer. Good morning.
Morning. I was really thinking I need to get Matt on one of those shows. I've never had him as a guest.
I was going to
before.
say, I'm good for Gary. I've never been invited to do a side session. I can't wait for the invite.
As far as I understand, it wouldn't have been Purdue of 2023 or there was even a thought I had maybe last year having you on, Matt, but it never seemed to work out.
It's incredible to me that you still don't remember the game you actually asked me to do in 2023.
Was it Purdue?
No, it was not Purdue. What would be the team that you would probably ask me to do in 2023? Like the one that I might be the most familiar with.
Northwestern?
Our Cats.
Yeah. There you go.
That was wasn't that the kicker that did the milking thing? Like when he would make a field goal and his holder and his snapper would milk him.
Yes.
Yeah.
They kicked a lot of field goals that year because Jack Lausch didn't know how to get the ball in the end zone.
But Josh Peterson on the Hypecast this week on Husker 24/7. Okay, you are doing a lot of radio and a lot of discussion. I'm going to be probably one of the rare people to ask you on radio and to really get you excited before we talk about football. Is this going to happen? Are your Cleveland Guardians going to chase down the Detroit Tigers?
I sent some text yesterday to the Tigers fans that I know, just reminding them that I'm still in their life, that I haven't gone anywhere, that, they still can't beat Cleveland when it matters. And there's still 3 more games to play between those two teams. And so, depending on how Detroit handles the Atlanta Braves and if Cleveland can keep things rolling against the Twins, it's going to get really interesting in the middle of next week. And Detroit finishes with Boston, the other team that Cleveland is chasing. So I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think they're going to be able to pull this off. But we saw it last year with the Tigers. I mean, you just find an AL Central team that sells at the deadline, get rid of a few veteran players, and then all of a sudden the young guys can lead the worst offense in baseball to a bunch of wins in September. So it is remarkable. They have, I think, any major statistical category offensively, they are one of the 3 worst teams in baseball at this point in time. And so the fact that they're even here with 2 pitchers of theirs suspended for gambling, allegedly, on themselves, it is pretty remarkable. And then it just, Stephen Vought's a really good manager because that is not a playoff caliber team, and yet they keep finding ways to win. So we'll see if they keep it up.
Yeah, run differential, I think, is -23.
Yeah, they're not good like that. So there's the infuriating part of this, where if they would have put any effort at all into improving the lineup and not spent $12.5 million for a nostalgia tour of Carlos Santana and his, 340 slugging percentage at first base, they would have actually went out and tried to improve their lineup. I think there's a real chance they're already sort of in the mix in the playoffs, like whip a spot. So, they were an ALCS team last year. They knowingly got worse over the offseason, and now we're going to act like this run here at the end of the year carries the fact that they're like 20 games worse than they were a year ago.
Okay, well, that's enough baseball talk for me. Thanks, guys.
Well, congrats on your Cubs clinching a playoff spot. I know it's been an up and down tumultuous year, so at least they have that.
Not really. I mean, they were
there was a lot of July Cubs fans in late July and early August, and oh no, they're going to swoon, blah blah blah. I mean, they clinched with like a week and a half left. They were fine.
July got us really nervous because it gave us flashbacks to 2019 when they did the same exact thing where they didn't have offense and then they barely made any moves at the deadline and they didn't address it. But fortunately for us, Nico Horner actually decided to turn on the faucet and PCA is playing better. So let's go Cubs, baby. Tomorrow, the big game, Michigan, Nebraska. Let's talk little X's and O's. This is a little bit of a late wagon that maybe we're starting here. But when I tell you maybe Nebraska runs more of a 4-2-5 tomorrow as opposed to a 3-3-5, your reaction is what?
I mean, I think that they have kind of hinted all along that the front is just sort of situationally dependent and opponent dependent. I wish that I was enough of a technical expert to explain to you why a 4-2-5 would be better against this particular Michigan offense. Sure. I really can't. So, if that is what they end up coming out and they run, then it is a testament to something John Butler and Phil Snow and those guys have seen on film that they think they can take advantage of. I mean, I'm excited for this game for a lot of different reasons. Part of it is the chess match inside the game of Nebraska's defense and the looks that they're going to present to Bryce Underwood, who's playing the 4th game of his career. And he's going to be a good quarterback. But it's sort of a, hey, this guy doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. What kind of wrinkles can John Butler and Nebraska throw at him? And oh, by the way, they've got a veteran secondary who's playing really, really well right now. Pass rush might have some questions. The run defense might have some questions. But if Nebraska can play this game where they have to put the ball in Bryce Underwood's hands and he has to throw it on 3rd down, that is where the decided advantage seems to be for Nebraska. And I'm just so excited to get to that point and see what it looks like. And then see if Bryce Underwood can overcome it. Because that's the other part of all of this. You know, he's a great player. Is he able to decipher this? And then what adjustments does John Butler and Nebraska's defensive staff have to make? It is a chess match game tomorrow, and I am really fired up about it.
Okay, there's the other part of tomorrow that is off the field, on the field, so much on the line, at least early on, to say, okay, I see what's happening here. How big tomorrow is it for the entire brand, the brand of 25, 26, 27? I think
the brand that is Matt Rhule. Okay. I mean, I think, it's weird to say that, but the head coach has his own personal brand a little bit at stake here too. I mean, there's so much talk of culture and the way that they have built themselves over the last 2 seasons to kind of get to this point, the way they played the last couple of weeks, not just letting the team that has no business hang around. I mean, if this version of Nebraska has taken a big step, we should at least see on Saturday that they come out, they're not shell-shocked, that they're able to roll with the punches, that they can handle playing against a physical team like Michigan, that they can dictate terms at times too. I mean, I think that's a big part of what tomorrow could be. I think the general idea is that Michigan is usually the aggressor, whether it's with their really aggressive defense or that they're big up front and they're going to go right at you. And Nebraska has the opportunity to swing that entire narrative, and Matt Rhule is a part of that. And so there's all of that going on, in addition to everything that you've talked about, where you're going to have over 30-some recruits on the sidelines in the classes of 26 through 2028. You're going to have, there's not even a right number because there's the 24/7 sports rankings. There's the 24/7 sports composite ranking. But you're going to have like a dozen top 247 recruits that aren't even committed to Nebraska that are going to be on the sidelines for this one. You're going to have a bunch of guys watching that aren't coming out until the USC games are going to come out for a different home game that are interested in Nebraska. It is an opportunity to kind of plant their flag that, hey, we are back. And I understand this isn't a Michigan team that is likely to make the college football playoff or Michigan of the last few years, but it's a Michigan team that helmet matters. And it's an opportunity for Nebraska to just say, like, we can belong in the upper echelon of the Big Ten. The off-field optics matter so much to how this result goes that it's one of those where, how the pieces fall out if Nebraska should lose is going to be a conversation that we get to have for multiple weeks, because there's a bye week right after it too.
You're alluding to it, but how much of a stake raiser is just having all of those, and by the way, not just top 247 recruits, but like top 247 recruits out like all across the football field. Like, how much of a stake raiser is that for this game?
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity to show that this program is more than just, hey, we're on the rise. I mean, the amount of recruits you talk to that, what have you heard from Nebraska, or what do they tell you about themselves? And they talk about their facilities, and they talk about Matt Rhule, and they talk about the family atmosphere and the culture. And then the biggest thing is we're a program on the rise. Well, Nebraska's been on the rise for like a decade. They've been on the rise since Mike Riley showed up, and they were a program on the rise. They were on the rise when Bob Diaco got here, and they were on the rise. They were on the rise when Scott Frost rolled into town with his crew, and they were on the rise. And they were on the rise in 2021 when they had everything set up. You can't be on the rise for over a day. At some point, you got to get off the ground. And that's what Saturday is. It's a get off the ground kind of game, and it's an opportunity to show people that this isn't the program that it's been the last decade, that this isn't a program that's going to let, great chances just fall through its fingers again. They're going to be the reverse of the 2021. They're going to have the opportunity to go get the big win against Michigan at home, a Michigan team that, again, it's not going to light the world on fire, but it's still a quality win, and it shows that you belong in the upper echelon of the Big Ten. So much of this, there's a national conversation, there's a local conversation, but honestly, it is well past time for Nebraska to prove to the Big Ten that this is a football team that you went out and got for the next era of college football, not a football team that you went out and got because it's going to look good in your Hall of Fame or on your BTN Classics with games that they didn't even belong in the Big Ten at that time when Nebraska was good. It's time to prove that they belong in the conference. That is so much of Saturday.
God, that kind of like some of those games that they keep showing. One of the reasons I think we all have, if Nebraska's going to win, the quarterback's got to play well. Got to get the ball out. They're at about 2.7 seconds, and they think they can go quicker than that. So Dylan's eyes have been good. He's found soft spots. The conversation when you and I talk on Sunday morning, or everybody is at church or in the coffee shop or at breakfast, what's the conversation you believe will be about Dylan Rhule after 4 games of his sophomore year?
I think the conversation is going to be that he's very good at distributing the ball to a pretty good group of skill set players. I think whether it's Isaiah Hunter, Ja'Cory Barney, Dane Key, all of them, Luke Lindenmeyer, any of these guys, like they're Emmett Johnson, of course, out of the backfield. I mean, Nebraska has guys that can make plays, and they're going to go against the Michigan defense that is going to present opportunities for you to make plays because they're going to come after you. And so if you can time it up with the right call and the right play and the right throw and the right decision, a guy like Ja'Cory Barney can catch a ball 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and Michigan's defense could have 7 people committed to Dylan Rhule, and that leaves 4 left for him to try to navigate through. So I just think the way that they can counteract the blitz with some quick passes, the kind of athletes they have out on the edge, and sort of the explosion that if Michigan does hang back or Nebraska decides to challenge them deep, they have that in their arsenal too. So I think on Sunday, Gary, you and I will be talking about Dylan's sort of, I want to say, coming out party or breakout party, because I think he has that game in him. We haven't quite seen it against an opponent like this, and I think Saturday is the opportunity. I don't think Nebraska is going to pile up a bunch of points, but I think he's going to make a lot of smart throws. He's going to put them in the right place, and he's going to give Nebraska the opportunity to win against an aggressive defense.
I want to veer away real quick from just the game itself and talk about something else that happened yesterday when Matt Rhule went on Pat McAfee. And did you watch it by any chance?
I did not see Matt Rhule on Pat McAfee.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So it's just a quick little thing. When McAfee was talking about Nebraska, right? He referenced Dylan Rhule by saying, well, Dylan, he's looking really good. And then he referenced Emmett Johnson by saying, Emmett, he's a dog, right? And it kind of startled me for a second because you have Pat McAfee on ESPN television very nonchalantly just referencing Nebraska football players and saying their names as if he's very familiar with them and has watched their games. How big of an impact from a recruiting standpoint is that a guy like McAfee now kind of knows the roster, knows the inner workings, and is putting guys' names out there on that platform because of Matt Rhule's presence on his program?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt that Matt Rhule has been able to link himself up with Pat McAfee, and then, of course, you have Will Compton and everything that he has done for the Nebraska program as well. So you have these 2 guys in Compton and McAfee that reach a younger audience, that reach a broad audience. And with Nebraska being talked about in positive tones, that only helps. I mean, but the thing is, it has to stand up on its own.
Sure.
It can't just be, Pat McAfee talking about Nebraska football when they're 5-4 going into another November that they need to win a bunch of games and nobody knows how they're going to do in that month. So it's fine now because they're 3-0. It's fine now because Emmett Johnson has looked like a dog, and the way that he played against Cincinnati was huge for Nebraska. And so that all makes sense. But what's that conversation if it doesn't look good?
Sure.
It doesn't matter. So it's only good as long as you continue to make sure that it looks good. And as long as Nebraska plays at a reasonably high level, the way that Matt Rhule has worked his media contacts and the fact that he's as media friendly as he has makes Nebraska a much more visibly appealing program than it was, even when it was winning games under Bo Pelini. But people want wins. Like, having your coach talk on ESPN's talk show is nice, but it doesn't matter if you're not getting wins in the conference. And so, it all works in conjunction. That's why when we talk about this, Nebraska is so set up with everything, except they haven't had the on-field results. And when that comes, they could be a literal rocket ship in the college football world, but we still haven't seen them win enough for that to matter. And that's why this season has so much connotation and hope behind it.
We'll get chatter on this because I know how you're leaning in this game tomorrow. But what would be the reason why Nebraska doesn't win and all of these streaks continue?
I think the reason why Nebraska wouldn't win tomorrow, to me, and it's not Justice Haynes or Bryce Underwood or anything Michigan's doing offensively, it's that their offense just can't get going. If we see them kind of have to plod along and they sputter out at like the 45-yard line after a couple first downs, like we see that over and over, which, by the way, I mean, at least you have Archie Wilson, who theoretically could spend his day pinning Michigan deep in what could be a special team showcase on Saturday. But I think it's Nebraska's offense. I think the pressure's on Nebraska's offense. I think they have to prove that they're better than this version of Michigan's defense. I think they are better than this version of Michigan's defense. But in some games last year, they just came out and they were so slow starting. It took too long for them to get going, and they weren't able to score late when it mattered. And so I think Nebraska's offense has to play a pretty good day. They have to avoid the turnovers, hit on some critical third downs. Again, I don't think they have to score in the 30s to win this game, but they're going to have to put up a couple touchdowns and at least 4 scoring drives, I think. And I think they can do that. I think they can do more than that. But I think at minimum, they have to be able to do that. And for as good as they've looked against inferior competition and how they looked at times against Cincinnati, they still can be shaky. They still can start slow. And so that's kind of the critical part for me. I think how Nebraska starts can tell a big part of the tale tomorrow.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff, Schaefer. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
That is Mike Schaefer from Husker 24/7.
I got to clarify something.
Okay.
When I said enough baseball talk, I meant enough Guardians talk. Okay. I was done talking about the Guardians.
Never mind October.
No, I want to clarify that
care.
because it's a Cubs-tober and I couldn't be more excited about it. And I don't want people being like, oh, Matt hates baseball. I like baseball. I really, really like baseball. I don't, after hanging out
Matt
with
wants
you
to go back to
and
2
talking-
divisions.
Well, you know what? Don't get me started because there should be 5 teams that make the playoffs. Not
Win the pennant,
7
go to the
teams.
World Series.
Well, not that.
No playoff.
I'm so sick. I hate the 17 playoff in baseball. I liked it when it was rare to make the playoffs in baseball. Do you know why they celebrate when they win the division like that? Like there are some people like, oh, what do they always celebrate?
It's sponsored.
They celebrate when they win division because that was like, oh my God, we're in the playoffs. This is rare. Like this is a big deal. This is what we worked for. I just want to clarify. Baseball honk, not a baseball hater.
Matt Verzal, also a fellow Cub fan. He will join us next. We'll discuss, is Cade Horton the guy that is going to start game 1 for the Cubs in the postseason? Looks like it's going to be the Padres because the Dodgers are now up 3.
Rematch. Yeah. 41 years.
Screw Steve Garvey. Many have. For what he did in 84.
He played with the
That was a
Dodgers.
good
I
one.
mean, just going to.
Verz stops by next on 1620 The Zone. And he joins us now. Morning, Verse.
Morning, boys.
I got a couple quick things here before we get into the Nebraska-Michigan game. One, yesterday, movement in NSAA with A dropping district competition. B's going to have a new scheduling model. Enough to get rid of all these blowouts?
No.
Okay.
Look what I mean. What changes?
That's why that's why I asked you, because I'd like your perspective.
No, man. It's the only ones that changed it are OPS getting their best together, and the NSA. Then not the NSA. The member schools, that are not in the metro, stop being scared of the metro. If you don't want to do it, you have a vote. But they get bullied around and they bitch about it. And I got Jeremy Jensen, my buddy in Grand Island, was a teammate of mine in high school and college, and he's bitching about it. Kenny Fisher rolling is great. Hearing him do that, that's embarrassing. You sound soft doing that. Now, that rule that you think only happens in Omaha, guess what you can do in Kearney and Grand Island, Columbus and Norfolk?
Mm-hmm.
Go around and take all the small school kids. Take the best small school kid around you. Get him into your school. That's in the rules. To follow the rules or shut up. Those are the rules. So figure it out. But to get on social media and bitch about it and complain and say, you got to vote just like anybody else. Vote. Vote or shut up. I don't like people that whine.
I know you don't.
I think that's the way it gets to be a lot. You want to see it as a problem. Oh, they got what we don't got. Have you ever gone and examined it? Have you ever gone and tried and said, man, maybe we go take what Road River's got and what St. Paul's got and what all these other towns, Aurora. You go take what Aurora's got. And then that's for them to figure out after that. But this is the system that you member schools voted for. It's a you member school problem. You could have voted no, but you didn't.
By the way, Norfolk, big win last night against Lincoln Southeast. And good luck, Jay Landstrom and Elkhorn Mel Michael. Big game against Columbus Lakeview. Now let's shift to the other thing.
Southeast lost?
Yeah.
What a shocker.
Yeah. Lincoln High School. We had Waverly last night, and I'm a big fan. I think Waverly and Norris are in great spots because they're on the edge of Lincoln.
Yeah.
A lot of people are living in those communities.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln High School football is in trouble.
They don't live in those communities. They drive out there. Check Norris's enrollment where their kids live. Waverly's the same way. They don't live there. Come on now. But in the same breath, credits to Norris and credits to Waverly.
Sure.
That's the rule.
Good point. Good point.
Yes.
Good point.
Yes,
but I ain't mad at it. Go get some ass kickers and go kick ass. Good time. I did it for a long time, Coach. It was fun.
That's a quote.
And you know about both of those programs. All right, you know about these guys.
I also know it's only September. Them two got a ways to go.
Yes, it is. All right. Are we looking forward to the 95 guys getting back together, shenanigans, or a bunch of old guys that are like, hey, I see you all the time. Welcome back.
No, it's going down. I mean,
nice.
Thomas was in Wednesday. I just he rolls in, this freaking mutant. He rolls in, and I just looked at him because he's got a farm now. They raise cattle and stuff like that. And I was like, hey man, I got a question. He's like, yeah, what's up? I was like, do you have a truck? Do you have a pickup truck on the farm? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, stop carrying the cattle to the barn, dude. I was like, put him in the truck and take him. You don't need to carry him. I'm like, you look like you could play. You can totally do it. Make us look all like schlubs. I was like, dude, get over. And he just started laughing. But he's in town. True lands. I think he lands at 12:30.
Okay.
Him and his beautiful wife, Tracy. Unfortunately, Michelin, Tomic couldn't make it. Their oldest son is playing. He got a game Friday.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah, but no, they're all coming in. I've seen quite a few of their dumbass already. So it'll be fun. It's going to be a great weekend, and university did the best they could to put thing together tonight from 5 to 7, and I think I don't think they got a tailgate set up for us. We're just going to go our own way, and which is sad because we're, one of 3 things that's been relevant about their program for 30 years. But whatever, do you? We'll do us.
Are you guys doing the tunnel walk?
I don't know. I would assume, you don't want to go out of what you've done every other time. So I guess we will probably be tunnel walking. Hopefully, who I hope is tunnel walking is Bud.
Yes.
If Bud comes out with one belt on, and then the other 4 captains come out with the other belts on, they're going to shake that old barn to the ground. That's going to be awesome. That's what I would do.
Yeah. That'd be dope. That'd be a great idea. Matt, and look, feel free to divulge how much or how little of this question from me to you, but I'm very curious, you being a former player and having that fraternity with other former players, how has the conversation about Matt Rhule and what he's doing at Nebraska evolved from when he first got here to now amongst, you guys and former players and that kind of special group of people?
We all see what's happening. It's probably in our conversation for Sean Jackson called me the other day. He was all pissy. And instead of saying, do you think Nebraska can win? He said, how do you see Nebraska winning? So I gave him my methodology, and then he got pissed at my answer. And he's like, I can't believe you think that. We're still short on defensive line talent. And da-da-da. I was like, and talent is probably not the right word. They're short on defensive line size. They have talented kids. They're just not fully flexed out yet.
Sure.
I was like, listen, man, that wasn't the question you asked me. This was the question, so I answered that question. They see a lot of the groundwork that's being laid, like how he's doing things. The Akron halftime speech probably resonated with a bunch of people because when I, as a coach or I, as an adult in a situation, when I'm pissed at what I view as disrespect, and you're not pissed, I'll tell you this for free. If you're in one of those situations, if they got a personal foul on the quarterback when they were trying to throw it kind of toward before halftime, or if all those linemen would have went over and started to kind of shove and push and jaw jacket that kid that kind of went low when they were just trying to down the ball, he would know he has a team that's fully engaged and gets all of it. Okay? They get more of it now, and it is just it. I can't quantify it. It's like one of the country singers says, you got whatever it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, if they do that, then he doesn't have to do that. But that's, that, like me. Okay. Michigan chooses. They say, hey, what game do you not want to coach in because you cheated and you got caught? I picked Turd State and Nebraska. And I got pissed. I got mad. And I'm looking around, I was like, they just spit in your face.
Yeah.
They told you they respect you so little that they don't even want to send their head coach to play you. They don't need him, they don't think. Now they should be mad. They should be irate. You don't pick us. I don't know if they play Northwestern, but you pick Northwestern. Go do that against the Nerds. Don't do that. You're putting some respect on our name. Now, we have done nothing in the past to deserve respect, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that would be I would have that. I would blast that everywhere. They don't think you're worth a head coach. They think you can beat you with a fill-in. Guess what? In a couple days or a day, somebody's going to be right.
Matt Verzal, smart guy, not only football knowledge, but he dropped some Zach Brown band with a lyric on the show. Thank you very much. Those guys are very appreciative. If Bryce Underwood is just meh, there's not a way that Michigan can win, right?
Okay. So if Bryce Underwood is meh, and I would ask, can you quantify meh for me?
Let's say
he runs it a whole bunch?
No, let's say throws for 116 yards, runs for 40.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is okay. So if I'm looking at a game plan for this, right? And I'm going to use what I have. I have fast defenders, and I have a good secondary. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, middle guys, when/if they throw it, you cannot leave a lane. You have to fight back to get in your lane because we want him in the pocket throwing the ball. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fast guys on the edges, you keep him in the pocket. Do not get lazy and go too far upfield where you create a lane where you can go up, over, and out.
Mm.
I make him throw it because I want to see him throw it because that's a big jump for a high school kid to get acclimated to college level coverage. Where in high school, you can kind of weave around, corner gets nervous, peeking back at you, safety's peeking at you, and then you got a receiver, you chuck it as far as you can over the top, right? So Nebraska in this game, in my opinion, can't be down more than 2 scores at any point in time because then you go 7 offensive linemen and you smoke it downfield and you take 3 a pop, and any fill-in coach can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you're going to get first downs and you just put it in a grindhouse. You've got to get this game late where you're down less than 1 score. If you can do that, you will win the game because the stadium will be raucous. The old guys on the sidelines will be jaw-jacking everybody. And I already know it. I already know who's coming, so I know it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Kids going to get shoved out of bounds by us, and somebody's going to start running their mouth. And it's death, taxes, and that happening. So
That's awesome.
I like it.
But that's how I would combat the game. I think Archie has to be incredibly accurate with kicks. The longer you can make the field for them,
Great point.
I think the better. And then you've got to win first down. Like you can't put them in like 2nd and 3. They've got to be 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, where then a little panic maybe, and then they say, okay, we only got 2, so we're gonna throw it. And then I think it's the advantage back to Nebraska.
Fantastic. Vers, have a great weekend. We'll see you in Lincoln.
See you, boys.
See you, Matt.
That's Matt Verzal. That is going to be a gong show with the 95 team coming back, and also the desire for Rhule to have them all on the sidelines.
Oh, are they for
There's
sure?
going to be plenty of people on the sidelines. That's his thing.
Yeah.
He wants those guys to be there.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. When we come back, all right, final thoughts. We'll give our picks in our game, and we'll give you the final score. This has been kind of fun this week.
It has been.
It's a big game. We talked a lot about Nebraska, Michigan. We've ignored other sports, but you guys understand.
Have we? I feel like we did a whole breakdown of the volleyball game.
Yeah.
Talked a little basketball. We talked about Bear Cape Buchton Joe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. As you see the other report that he's lost 15 pounds, he's down to 245. Yeah, let me just go ahead and tell you. Just watch the tape last year, everybody.
He didn't play well on Saturdays. Fortunately for Nebraska, they only play 2 home games on Saturday in the Big Ten. He'll be better. Trust me.
They play one Saturday game on the road in Evanston, January 17th.
Yeah. Here's how much the Big Ten thinks of Nebraska. You're like, psst, psst. Northwestern, Penn State are their 2 Saturday home games.
Hell yeah. 16-20 the bunk bed in Evanston, baby.
Hey, at least you know where you're going at the end of the year. Going to Chicago. Don't have to worry about not making the tournament. 18 are back.
Are we doing that too?
Yeah. ACC says, no, we're good at 15. Big Ten says, no. Trophies for everyone.
Are we double bunking in March together?
All right. We'll finish the show with some final thoughts. After this, on 1620 The Zone. All right, tomorrow, pregame, John and Michael, 12:30, 16:20 The Zone pregame, and then postgame, Big Red Overreaction, Matt and Josh. So we got you all covered. What'd you say?
Ayo.
Oh.
Sorry for interrupting.
I heard that.
Okay.
That's my bad.
Not
Sorry.
Yayo. That was earlier.
Sorry. Had a Lincoln Park in the right ear.
Ayo.
Nope.
Ayo.
Nope. We've grown up. We've grown up since then.
Have we? Come
on.
Yes, we have.
Do it.
So a couple quick things here that during the course of everything that's been discussed today about reasons why Nebraska will win. Oh, you guys thought it was about something else?
No, I did not.
No, one of the comments. I don't know how they thought that about you. I didn't see any.
That's a good one.
I don't.
The
missed
YouTube
something.
comments are on
It's a
fire.
pin. It's a pin.
I don't have a hat on, so some people are kind of taken aback by it.
Hair looks good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm trying. I'm actually doing things now for it.
Oh,
I'm trying to keep my hair.
Taking pills?
No, but I got some products and whatnot that you put in. to
Let's
make
talk
sure
after the show.
stores and
Wow.
whatnot. Yeah, I'm trying to add
Hey.
volume.
I got some great beachfront property in downtown Omaha if you're interested as well.
Or oceanfront.
What do you-
property
Somebody
in
sell you
Arizona.
something?
No, I didn't get sold.
Where you watch
snake
on TV
oil.
and you're like, I haven't
No,
used
no.
Amazon Prime in a while.
No, I didn't.
Let's get that ordered.
I didn't purchase anything from Dr. Oz. I just went to Target and I just went to the hair section.
Ooh,
And I was
shout
like,
out
"Ooh,
Target."
I should put that on my hair. That's balding."
Head and shoulders.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
So Nebraska needs and Verz alluded to this. You've mentioned it. Convert on third down.
Yep.
Time of possession. Watch that. When they cross the 40 and they're headed towards the goal, they need points. It's all about points, ma'am. Remember, Dana, since he's been the OC at Nebraska, against Power 4 teams, 20, 44, 10,
Mhm.
20, 20. Okay? You're going to need to score more than 10, probably less than 44.
Yes.
But when they cross the 40, they need points, whether it be from a toe or an arm or a leg
Mhm.
or a push, whatever it might be. Then the other thing is, a reason why I think Nebraska would win is because they have controlled Michigan's running game
Yeah.
against Oklahoma, 32 carries, 146 yards, take out Haynes' 75-yard scamper. You can do the math. Oklahoma was great in clogging the lanes and tackling.
Yeah. Great point.
And this will be why they win. Haynes, first time he's been under 100 yards and no explosive plays.
Mm.
So no 15-yard or more explosive plays, especially from him in the run game, which he's had 8 of those. They have to limit the explosive plays. If they're able to do that and kind of keep this game a little bit in a phone booth, then I do like Nebraska's chances to stand up with Michigan. But this is going to be a close game, in my opinion. The other person that I think is really, really important is Super Toe, Kyle Cunanan. Kyle Cunanan
I like that.
has been consistent.
He's
We
pretty
really haven't
good.
talked about him. If people are going, hey, it's going to be 24-21, at
Mhm.
some point they need a field goal. When is that field goal? And
Yeah.
is that the only one he makes out of the 2 he attempts? Or is it the only one he attempts and he makes it? And when does it happen in the game? So I think he is one of the top 5 players tomorrow because they're going to need points from the toe.
Yeah.
And they can't afford not to get points from the toe. It's where do they trust him on the field?
Mhm.
Because he gave you the one against Cincinnati from 52, but
Yeah.
since then they haven't had a kick a long one.
Mhm.
But when they've asked him to go out there,
He's done it.
he's perfect through 3.
So you kind of hit my point. So I'd be able to lose. I have 7 points turned into 3 points. Like you got it. Points that are a premium. When you have an opportunity within the 10-yard line, you got to turn that into 7. My keys to winning is keep them in the pocket, time of possession, and the last one, perfect special teams.
Yep.
Nebraska has an opportunity to
Imagine.
dominate them in special teams because Samaj Morgan's had 6 punt returns, 8 yards. Okay. Zavada for Michigan has not had a good start to this season. If Nebraska can continue to do what they've done with Barney, with Cunanan, keep the ball in bounds when you kick off, right? You cannot be giving them good field position. And of Archie, because we've stopped talking about him because he hasn't punted in 2 weeks, I've been hearing he's been dominating practice, that he's been kicking it really well, that it hasn't mattered that he hasn't had some game stuff, that he's still that leg that we've seen with Cincinnati. If they can do that, this is, I agree with you, going to be a super, super close game. I have it as a 1-point game. If they're perfect special teams, that just might be it. That just might be the edge.
And 2 straight games, Michigan's missed a field goal.
Yes. And they didn't do that last year.
Yeah.
That's very uncharacteristic of them.
Again, this is Nebraska should be prepared. There are no excuses in this game. It's all about ball. It's not about culture, guys buying in, none of that crap. It is go out and play. and you're either going to be the better team on Saturday or you're not. But they have been working on Michigan. No offense to Houston Christian, but there is offense to Houston Christian. Nebraska's been working on Michigan since last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not this Tuesday, last Tuesday, where they've gone into game prep for Michigan. So this is like the validation. We're doing the right thing game.
Yeah.
We will see. Before we give our final predictions, update everybody on our contest. That will now reach week 5.
Yes. So currently, Gary leads 6 points to -3 points. You got up really quick. I thought that something like had happened for
-3.
Well, yeah, because I've lost more than that one. So Gary's got 6. I got -3. We both went 2 and 3 last week. So you were currently in the lead by 9.
Fernando Rodney.
I had a bad week.
Get up to 0.
I had a bad week 2 weeks ago, and I haven't recovered. I'll be fine. I love the board this week. This is a board. I love it. Love the board.
All right. Your 3 games.
Missouri.
Okay.
Right now
guys.
it's -9.5.
All right, bet's going down. I got it on Sharpie.
But that line might change because of sellers.
Let's go Cox.
-9.5.
Okay.
ND -25.5 versus Purdue. Baylor versus ASU. I got the over at 60.5.
Ooh, I like that one.
Okay.
That one's a good one.
Thank you.
All right.
Death taxes and Baylor overs this year, baby.
Just say no. Wait, you're talking about something else.
James Madison.
Jeez.
-9.5 points.
Okay.
Okay,
I love
against
that.
Liberty. Let's go, Big Jim.
Mhm.
The San Francisco 49ers playing host to Arizona. 2.5 point favorite.
Okay.
And BYU, 6.5 point favorite against East Carolina.
All right.
Those are my 3
That's another good
in our contest. All right. What'd you say? What's the point total? +6 to -3?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're 9 points ahead.
All right. We'll update that coming up on Monday, where we were right, where we were
You need
wrong.
to go 3-0 and needs to go 3.
Well,
basically.
but we got a long time. We got a while.
That's
We
what
got
they
till
all
January.
say.
We're going to say January 1st.
But you have an opportunity to bow out of the contest if you'd
I'm
like.
not going to bow out. I'm going to keep fighting, man. I'm Rocky. It's like you hitting me is like hitting a steel pole
Oh, it sounds awful.
for Gary.
But just anybody. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Well, that's the line. It's like hitting a steel pole. Rocky 4.
Yeah, we're just further along. I'm like Pavia in terms of experience in college. You're like Underwood.
You won't leave.
No, I will not. Until they make me.
Get
College
out.
is fun.
All right.
Please.
We'll where we're right, where we're wrong, we'll do that on Monday. Jimmy, what do you got for tomorrow?
Asses will be kicked. That's what I think.
Wow.
Yeah. No, Huskers win 24-17. It's gonna be a tough game. But what you said, at some point, you just got to do it. This isn't about them or you. It's just you just got to go beat them. And I think for once they're
Yeah.
gonna go do it.
24-23 Michigan.
Winning an ugly game will work wonders.
Hold
for
on.
this team.
He just slipped that in there. You got the Michigan 24-23.
Michigan 24-23.
I give you credit because you said Michigan would beat Nebraska before the year.
And I just think that unfortunately for Nebraska, I think they got the run game, and I just don't trust from what I've seen with Cincinnati that Nebraska is going to be able to fully stop
That's
it.
better
But
than the
I-
last time
But
Michigan
I think
was there.
that I think Nebraska, like I don't want people to be like I'm a hater. I think Nebraska's
you're
right
not a
there.
hater.
No, they're getting better.
Like I think they're getting better.
Yeah.
Like they've closed the gap. I think it's going to be a great game. I just from a X's and O's like matchup perspective, I think just Michigan
They
has
do,
the
then
edge.
go 5-1 after.
24-23 Michigan.
At some point, things have to change, and you have to win these games, and you have to win games that are one-score games that come down to the end. Kyle Kunanen with a game-winning field goal, and Nebraska wins 24-21, and all of these streaks that are being mentioned all week long.
A kicker coming through?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That'd be insane.
That'd be a bigger story than the win itself.
That'd be a 4-hour Big Red overreaction.
That'd be like the old days.
That'd be a feel. It feels like 97.
Should be a banger.
It should be a banger. It should be a great.
Should be a lot of fun. And this is nice to have something like this back.
Yes.
Now we'll see if Nebraska comes through. Everybody needs it for the brand, for the psyche.
We really do need it.
Yes, because then you take a week off, and then you probably don't play a ranked team again until USC, which is a long time ago, and it would be over 3,300 days.
I think that's when the
since
big dude would
Nebraska
come.
last beat a ranked team.
Crazy.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Make memories. Enjoy some high school football tonight, whether you're going Westside Bellevue West. Matt and John Schreiner are out at Millard South and Millard North. Godspeed.
Thanks.
But enjoy all the sports this weekend. And, of course, the big one in Lincoln and everything else in your NFL Sunday. We'll be back on Monday at 6 to talk about it, make memories, Be safe, everyone. Live, laugh, punt. Ironically, Iowa's playing tonight. For Jimmy, for Madam.